shack at. The bottles getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon. We be pubbing.
Cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. Happy Friday, September 8th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We have a packed show today. We're going to open up with the 4 CFL games. I'm going to keep things tight. Then we move on to NCAA football. We're going to talk about tonight's Fighting Illini Jayhawk game. Then we're going to talk about Dabby Cab's best bets. The one game that is not yet a best bet for him and may become one, but not a bet yet, is the Cornhusker Buffaloes game at Folsom Field in Boulder, Colorado, that the whole sports world is talking about because of primetime Neon Deion Sanders and his son and his sons. And that is our big showcase college football game on Saturday. Dabby Cab and Dutch Boy Fresh will be hosting the live stream, and that's right after Saturday Means Football, starring Peter Loshak and the big man on campus. So that's how we get started. To give you guys a heads up of his best bets, he has one in Notre Dame, NC State. I've taken a little bit of abuse for my look on NC State. You know, that'll happen. Not everybody has to agree with your capping and your action. Then he's got a best bet on Texas A&M, Miami, and he's got a best bet on Texas, Alabama. Huge marquee games that he's got best bets on. So we'll let him roll there. Then we break into MLB and TJ back in action with us. He's got a gift and 2 other bets that he will be jumping on with while Dabby and I break down the game. I want to say that we smashed and destroyed the opening game of the NFL season, but really, I won a bet, and Troy Torrance destroyed it. Troy just rolled it up and smoked it. He cashed the 6.5, the 6, the money line at plus 194, and the under 54.5. I'm okay with not moving on the under, even though that clearly was the right play. But I cashed the plus 6. That feels good. Getting your season off to a winning start is important. It's important to have confidence. It's important to go into any season believing in yourself and believing in your capping. And that's what happened. So as a combination, Bankroll Blitz opened up 5-0 plus 5.94 units. I was only a part of one of those units. I want to know. But still, I do feel like I'm a part of it. But Troy murked it. And shout out to my guy, Troy Torrance. It's funny. NFL comes and I'm like, I'm going to burn out in week 1, man. This was as tough a week as I remember, just being as prepared as possible. And with that, I kind of not left alone, but I don't have bets in CFL. My guy Slatsy has attacked CFL. And I love his looks, and he beat market moves and things like that. I want to get involved, but, I'm coming late to the party. We're going to break those games down, and I'm going to be tight with those breakdowns because we have an enormous amount of games to cap here. So that's the situation. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Ron Crawford, MLB spreadsheet play today is on the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, that is music to my ears. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play today is the Orioles. Now, capping is how do you want to say it in nice words, but a cruel mistress, I guess. And we dominated that football game, but watching Class A, whatever his name is, blow his 10th save of the year in the Guardians Angels game, I went to sleep really frustrated. The cap was all based on a older pitcher finishing off a 1-year, $5 million contract in Cal Quantrill and expecting him to pitch well despite what his underlying stats looked like in his return from the deal. And he was spectacular. He leaves and they're up 2-0. And what else can you ask for? And to still lose it gave me a 2 and 3 day in MLB. It makes me want to smash something. But it is what it is. Canada lost in the semis this morning. So I have them at a plus 600 to lose in the semis. But that was the smaller of my bets. The bigger one was to lose in the finals, and the biggest one was to win the finals. Still, you turn a profit, and that's all you can ask for. But certainly the roller coaster ride is a tough one, to go through the high of the Lions and the lows of, when I was in stand-up and film and TV and all that, the highs and the lows were really difficult to handle. You're starring in a movie, or I should say, have a good role in a movie, and you feel like you're on top of the world. Then you don't book, 70, 80 auditions in a row, and you're in the dumps. And then you have a great stand-up show, and you're on top of the world, and you bomb horribly, and you're in the dumps. This is harder. This is tougher. This is because you have these highs and lows in the course of a night. And when you're riding so high, and then you're in the dumps, and you're back high, and I remember when I was in, when I was a comic, I remember not wishing that life on anyone, not ever wanting my children to be. Well, this is worse, and it's also much better. So it's you guys know what it is, man. It's these highs and lows are really difficult to navigate. And we can't let the losses hurt more than the wins feel good. And that how this stupid, useless Angels Guardians game threw me in the dumps last night shouldn't happen, but whatever. It is what it is. Shout out to all of you guys. Viper NB in the house. Chicago Cubs team total under 3.5 for my man Vipe. Let's copy and paste that and have it all ready to go. I can't have this intro go too long. It's already probably gone too long. That's the Diamondbacks Cubbies game with Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen's allowed 11 earned runs over his last 10 2/3. But I think, now I'm not on the road, but in general, believe that he is an elite pitcher. Elite pitchers don't usually have the third straight bad loss or bad performance. And we talked about that with TJ's gift yesterday, which was the Mariners. And in that spot with the Mariners, we went over every single bad performance that Castillo had, and he shoved the next performance. It was really easy to believe in him and also trust the gift. Can we do that here with Zach Gallen? Viper is, and we'll talk all about that spot here. Reclaim James got in at Baltimore minus 113 last night. Nice job, Reclaim James. Almost as good as my minus 109. But nice job. Yeah, I got it as soon as I could. It was minus 109 at Pinnacle. It was minus 120 at Bet365. Everybody's betting the Orioles and making money off of them. And, of course, they're going out against Donkey Fingers, Bouquet's Red Sox. So we'll have his breakdown as well. Dan Kelly, thank you for the very kind words. Reclaim James. We get right back to ass eating. Ass eater play of the day, Hanshin Tigers. And I have an idea of, I don't want to get too into it, but I think that this interest in Asian baseball, maybe more than that, maybe an interest in Asians altogether. But let's stay focused because this could go off the rails real quick. And I love my guy, Reclaim James. And I love seeing that picture of him running with Jose. Knoxville, Tennessee in the house. Truth Teller, Gerald Jones, Troy Torrance. There he is. What a start to the year, man. It's very important to get off to good starts. It's very important to have confidence and smash. That's what you did, my man. Isaac Torres ready to get to work. Philly Eagle Flyers, Kongs, Clips, Truth Teller, K. Graham. Big Daddy Boom says, if Colorado Buffaloes don't win by more than 3 points, 14-10, 17-3, and 24-10, this could be my last show commentating till NHL. Okay, that's you don't want to put too much pressure. You don't want to put too much pressure on those situations. But, we sometimes thrive under pressure, and a lot of us do. North Ender in the house. Great to see you. FTFX Mula. ready to get to work. Occupancy. K. Graham saying fade the Lions next week and take the Chiefs. He is thinking. Can't wait to cap all of that. Serious business ready to go. Isaac Torres all over Chicago Bears for the NFC North, says Isaac Torres. There's Anthony Velez, says Matt Nagy called a great game last night. Yeah, I guess Ronnie and Bergie's right. It's Tony's fault, maybe. Oh, man. There's my guy, Mr. Always Profit, Billy Friedrich. What a great group. What a great group. Okay, let's get to work. But I do want to give you guys that support the show a huge shout out because we have nothing without you guys. And I know that. Steve G, Morgan Spooner, Vaughn Polo. Wow. Look at that. Vaughn Polo is having his baby boy this morning. We are at the hospital about to have the C-section. Thinking about you, Vaughn Polo. Let's all just take a second. And put out as much positive energy we can to Vaughn Polo and his beautiful wife and his growing family. Let's just send them as much positivity for a quick birth. Let's have a real fast, easy, smooth birth. And let's give all the love and positivity we can right now. Let's just take a second and let's send it over to Vaughn Polo's family in Baltimore. I got the Baltimore hat on, man. It's all coming together. We love you, Vaughn Polo, and so much respect for you, man. And it's a real exciting time. And taking a second to get to be here with us during this exciting time, we love it. We've had Lo Bagalin and other babies born while this show's going on. And shout out to you, Vaughn Polo, and your family. Love it. Jay Smooth, ready to get to work. There's big show picks. His Detroit Lions are rolling. Okay. Sammy Culmer in the house. A few of us are 1-0 in the Cappers contest, by the way. And you only need to make 5 picks a week. You can still get into the Cappers contest, and we want you to get in. I still think we'll hit 100. We want to hit 100, so we have $10,000 up for grabs. Right now, we are just under $7,000 up for grabs, so we need more. And you're also going to start, well, you're not going to start behind me because you have to make 5 picks each week. So I know a lot of Cappers are going to be getting in this weekend, but please join us for our Cappers contest and our Survivor contest. Please join us. And nice start. Nice to get off to a 1-0 start. Nice to get off. There's Edenier Jr. in the house. Vitalis, we've missed you, buddy. Great to see you back in action. Steve G got the Buffs plus 2.5 early. Nice job. Nice job. Slatsy says, has there ever been a team with an easier schedule last 2 weeks than the Blue Jays? Nats, A's, Royals, make them love the Bombers first half full game and team total. Big Rebenga spot. I wish you got in really nice and early, Slatsy. I did retweet Slatsy's CFL action. He's running real nice right now. Important to keep a follow on what he's doing. Dan Kelly says NFL primetime games past 4 years are crazy unders. Doesn't make sense. It does. All the attention, all the focus on them, it tightens everything up. I mean, you suck at Darius, Tony. There. Frosted Cupcake says hilarious. Tony just dropped another ball. That was wild. There it is. LJ from H-Town. Cash it Fridays. Astros versus Lefty Day. Team total over 4.5. Our guy LJ crushing it over and over again. I accidentally deleted the A in Ass Eater. I won't do that. I won't make that mistake, Reclaim James. Hanshin Tigers is the Ass Eater play of the day. Let's get LJ's team total up here as well. RVD 420. Vitalis says, if you guys want to take some early action, take Iceland versus Luxembourg in Euro Championship over 2 goals. There we go. Nice job, RVD 420. Tell me you didn't just say that. Says, any defense looks great if the other team keeps dropping the ball. There's truth to that. It's great to see all you guys. Eagles, money line, and spread. There's our guy, TJ. Jeffrey Moore says, TJ, thank you for the gift. And my cards team total over 3.5 was money. 2-0 day yesterday for Jeffrey Moore. Kate Graham on Illinois. Let's copy and paste that for our first college football game. And at this point, I have not added anything to my best bets that I dropped yesterday in college football. I had, so there's my guy Swig in the house. Our guy Sean, the backbone of our in our website and all that. Love it. Sean, my man. Okie. James. Oh, man. Okay, we got to get to work. And I apologize for taking so long. But Don Play, Rodney Barton, Lucas Ryan, Voodoo Rangers, Sean Pulliam. Dan Kelly says, come on, Jimmy. You are saying that the books can't adjust. It makes no sense that they wouldn't adjust that. Oh, they'll adjust. But the week one of the season and the high-profile teams will always have the public on overs. Oh, but you're right. No, they'll adjust. You're absolutely right, Dan. It's just if it keeps cashing, they'll adjust for sure. Kelly McInnes, great to see you. All right, let's get to work here. Al Cervic, Big Daddy Boom, D Rock, Leonard Porsche Jr., Bill McDonald, Michael Johnson. Great to see all you guys. BJ's best bet is Kansas money line. Copy and paste that right under K Grams, Illinois. And again, part of the fun is being on different sides of people. AOD in the house. All right. It is now time to get to work. We're going to start in CFL. Dabby Cab will be joining us after these breakdowns in CFL. Let's get everything up and ready. And let's get to work. We start this evening. We're coming off a winning week. And we got off to a bad start in the week, which is kind of, I have not had a good CFL season. And I feel like it's sort of sharpened me up for NFL because, some of the mistakes that are being made in CFL, you want to get those lessons in so you don't make them. And that's another reason why I really preach to people to bet preseason NFL. Just get sharp, feel sharp, sharpen up those pencils and get to work. That's the only way I can reframe, I should say, the poor work I've done. But we smashed the Elks Stamps game, and there's 2 rematches this week. Friday, September 8th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the Hamilton Tiger Cats 4-7, 3-2 on the road to the Ottawa Redblacks 3-8, 2-3 at home at TD Place in Ottawa, Ontario to 67 Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Nate Dogg leaning towards Ottawa. And I get why you would. The problem is I know guys who have 3s on Ottawa. Slatsy has the 3 on Ottawa at -115. I mean, just perfectly handled. That is no longer available. And I have this issue where I have friends with a better line than I get, and I have this seething jealousy. And that's what's happening now. There's mostly 4s on the board. Pinnacle still is hanging a 3 for Ottawa at -119. Pinnacle's got big balls. Big dangling balls, touching toilet water. I'm surprised they have not moved that. I mean, the 3 at -119 is basically 3.5, but they've only moved it 9 cents. And interestingly enough, when this line came out on Tuesday, because these lines come out on Tuesday for CFL generally this time of the year, the first move was towards, Hamilton. There was a 12-cent move towards Hamilton, which is very surprising to me. That went away quick. There's been a late move towards Hamilton. When I talk about the big balls dangling around, there's been a huge move towards Hamilton this morning, which I'm shocked by. I didn't realize it. At 9:20 this morning, Ottawa's -3 was -139. It's now -119. We've had a 20-cent move to Hamilton. Jesus. Did not know that. Let's go over to the total here for this one. We're sitting at 47.5. And it's it's moved 1 cent to the over at 47.5. 1 cent. Eagles money line and spread leaning towards the Ticats. RVD 420. Oh, and Slatsy says on Redblacks -3, Ticats on 3 days rest and 1 practice. Redblacks off a bye, and this is basically their season. I like it. And I like Reclaim James on the under 47.5. I like both of those. I didn't realize, as you start talking things over and thinking about things, that I do also like the under now. So we are going to talk about CFL teams with fewer than 5 days rest. We've been talking about it all year because we have the Argos in the next game and Hamilton in this game. Teams with fewer than 5 days rest are 2-9 against the spread this year. Also 2-9 straight up. Demio Cheese says Dan Campbell has big balls. So does old Andy Reid. Bet you those balls touch toilet water all the time. 4th and 25. Don't think twice. Let's go for it. Could have trusted his defense. I get why he did it, but that took some balls. That took some danglers. All right. We have a well-rested Red Black squad fresh off of a bye. The Ticats have already beaten the Red Blacks twice this year in low-scoring games. That's the only concern I have. The only concern I have about this spot for the under is that they've already played the two very low-scoring unders, and now you have this Ticats defense that is tired and exhausted. They had to chase the Argos around the field all week yesterday, and now they're coming in off short rest. These are the two games that have happened so far. The Ticats beat the Redblacks 21-13 in week 5, and then they beat them 16-12 in week 8. Those are really low-scoring games. Hamilton comes in off that tough 41-28 loss at home to the Argos. Bobano watched it. And Taylor Powell had statistically the best game of his career, 30 of 42 for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. But so much of that came in garbage time. And this Argos defense is enough to make me want to bet the Bombers to win the Grey Cup. I don't think the risk reward is worth it at this point. But this defense is a problem. And we'll talk about that more in the Montreal-Toronto game. But Redblacks come in off of a bye week. Last seen in that 30-20 loss at the Elks. They've now lost 5 straight. Dustin Crum, I really believe in him. And now he's coming. He gets destroyed out there on the field. He puts his body in harm's way. It doesn't put himself in a situation for a long career. But, he needed to bye desperately. I've seen him take so many hits. He needed to buy desperately. Yes, I like the Red Blacks. I think the Red Blacks are in business. But my focus on NFL this week messed me up, and then I didn't get Jay's final take bought Ottawa -3 a couple days ago. And I can't let the fact that my friends have this better line than me affect me. Robert Franklin on the Ticats +4. So, now, these teams with fewer than 5 days rest have covered 2 of 11 games. Robert Franklin thinks they'll make it 3 of 12. There's no chance that I take the Tiger Cats on short rest here against the rested Red Blacks squad. That's better than their 3-8 record indicate. So, with all that being said, yes, I want the Red Blacks. And no, I'm not going to take the under. Maybe I should take a team total over for the Red Blacks. This is a tough spot for Hamilton, and it's a tough spot. Tough spot. I want the Red Blacks. I want them badly. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. Saturday, September 9th. We have 3 games on Saturday. No more Sundays of CFL football because we know what Sunday is, and it's not the Lord's Day. It's NFL. Montreal at 6-5, 3-2 on the road. Argos 9-1, 5-0 at home. BMO Field in Toronto, Ontario, 68 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. First off, this total has climbed up at some spots. Now, Pinnacle doing their thing with CFL, not allowing alternative lines. This over 51.5 got up to -135. It's dropped 9 cents to -126, but other books at the pick'em spot have it at 53. That total is at 53, so that total has climbed. Let's go over to the spread here in this one. We have some 10s on their way, but still 10.5s, which is just too much. I really believe it is too much. KBO spreadsheet play of the day is in here as well. There's Subhuman Gaucho in the house. Let's copy and paste this. We're going to get into NCAA football here very, very soon with Dabra Cadabra. Let's pop this here. Nate Dogg says Argos first half full game and over. So look, we have cappers in our chat, shrewd cappers that know these teams on 5 days or less of rest are 2-9 against the spread, and they still want to back them. And I get it. 4 days off, and now Montreal played on Saturday, so it's not like Montreal's full of rest here. What the hell happened to these strong defenses? And I guess when you look at who the Alouettes were beating in their 4-game winning streak, they were beating bad football teams. And the Bombers and the Lions dominated these guys, absolutely dominated them. There's our guy, Sharpie, in the house. Great to see you, Sharpie. Robert Franklin on Montreal plus 10. Rod Zwacky on Montreal plus the points. I want to be there with you guys as well. But watching them get their asses kicked is not, does not give you a ton of confidence. Now, week 11, they beat Ottawa in Ottawa. That was impressive. Then they get 3 interceptions to their return for touchdowns in week 12 against Winnipeg, and they still lose by 30. Then they lose at home 34-25. It's just it's I don't know exactly. The Alouettes, this is how bad the Alouettes defense was against the Lions. The Alouettes put up 533 yards of offense and scored 4 touchdowns and lose by 9. Now they're scoring. They're scoring right now. 6 of their last 7 games have gone for 25 plus. Argos coming off a 41-28 victory at Hamilton. They allowed Powell to roll in garbage time, but we saw what they really were in the first half. But man, the Argos are letting, look, the Redblacks have trouble scoring. They put up 31. They were up immediately 10-0 in that game. But I mean, look at this. It's wild. That teams are completing 71.7% of their passes against the Argos. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't take the Alouettes plus 10, even if it becomes garbage time. And I will be doing it. Alouettes plus 10. I'll try to get the hook. I'll do it. And then at this point, I would like to look at the Owls team total over. I don't know how you could, let that go at this point. But I don't know if I want to double up on the spot. Lucas Ryan's already locked in the over 52. Okay. Let's go. Nate Dogg says Argos winning from now till the Grey Cup. God, they got to fix that defense, man. They got to fix that defense. I'm sure that with the cuts in the NFL that they've got their eye on a few people that they're going to try to bring up. Let's move on. Saskatchewan Roughriders at Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The next 2 games we're going to talk about are rematches here. We're at IG Field in Winnipeg, Manitoba, 71 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 2 miles per hour. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Dan Kelly. That is Sharpie. He is the odds bunch. The odds bunch is Sharpie. There you go. The odds bunch is Sharpie. All right, let's get into the line history here for this one. Now, Bet Chris is a sharp book. They've already moved this to 9.5. Other books have moved this to 9. Winnipeg right now, minus 8.5 and minus 115 is juiced. We talked last week, and I was very fortunate to stay off of it. Very fortunate. But we talked last week about the Bombers' domination of this series. Their domination. This is the Banjo Bowl game. The domination. They beat the Roughriders, and now we have Jake Dolegala. Now there's a bye week that separates these spectacular performances by Dolegala that I did not see coming. Everything's gone the Riders' way offensively last 2 weeks. They both come at home in front of their raucous crowd at Mosaic. They beat the Lions, who have a strong defense, and then they beat the Bombers, in impressive fashion, another strong defense. They haven't turned the ball over in their 2 games. I mean, when is this going to stop? I mean, just, I guess, impressed. The Bombers have been costing their backers so much money. They're 2-5 against the spread over the last 7, which makes me think that they smash here, that they just smash and run it up. They are very good after a loss, 4-1 against the spread. The Roughriders are bad if following a win, although they just covered following a win. The Bombers beat the Riders 45-27 at Mosaic. Has that much changed, really? If you take out that game against the Lions early in the year when the Lions came into IG and beat them, Winnipeg's been destroying opponents at home. And Colaros, Lawler, Schoen, Oliveira, They'll do it again. Slatty says, I'm all in with the Bombers. Bombers after a loss are amazing. And beat reporters in Winnipeg say they've never seen Zach Laro so angry about the head, but they will be focused at home. Yeah, it was an ugly end to the game. Yes, I agree. I think this is just, God, look at how much I'm going to be investing now. And I also think the team total over has got to be in play. They'll just keep hammering. Nice job, DC Capper, of course, my man. You're a monster. Okay, so there we go. That's the Bombers game. I think they just have to be backed in every way. If you're looking for a parlay piece, the Bombers are that piece. They're the and if you wanted to put together a money line parlay with the Bombers and the Redblacks, I think I might have talked myself into a parlay. Jesus, how much money am I going to invest in this stuff, man? You start talking it out, and you're like, okay, well, it's a good thing we've been running pretty well here, thanks to the Orioles, so everything's looking fine. You can fire away, and it was a nice score last night with the Lions. All right, let's talk about the final game on the board. Calgary Stampeders 4-8, 2-4 on the road. Edmonton Elks 2-10, 1-5 at home. Commonwealth Stadium, Edmonton, Alberta. You guys know I like Chris Jones. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I like him as a man. I like him as a coach, and I like the accountability that he gets. And he's one of those guys, like a lot of men, that kind of soften up as they get older. They're not such assholes as they get older. And he is softening up a little bit, but he still demands the accountability. And he said that loss last week we were live for. Now we cashed the first half, and we cashed the first half money line, and we cashed the +5, and we cashed the over. We lost the full game money line at +170, and that would have been really nice. But he said that loss is as tough a loss as I've ever been involved in. And the line is moving towards the Elks. And I still have some hesitancy because Calgary knows what they're up against now. That's my only concern. When the Elks are just not thought about, this has gone from -2 at -105 to -2 at -115 at Pinnacle. But now they know. I mean, they know if they let up for a second, the Elks are going to beat them. That's my only concern. But Dedrick Mills is hurt. We don't expect him to be in the lineup. It is a head injury as well, but he was limited Wednesday. Also, Ambles, who's getting he's dealing with a knee injury. This total is sitting at 48.5. It was a barn burner last week. Will it be again? There's our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the house. So with all that said and done, they come off this wild 35-31. Stampeders win in Calgary. Jake Mayer was really, really good. When push came to shove, he was excellent. Oh, okay? Sorry, am I a little blurry? Sorry. Let me know if I fix that. Jose, I guess you just sent that to me. Let me know. I can do a couple things here, but give me a heads up if I have fixed that. Here we go. So Mayer was spectacular when push came to shove. He completely dominated the late parts of the game when it was most important. 27 of 34, 315 yards passing. Okay, I'm going to keep moving my hands. Oh, shit. Yeah, it is blurry. What the fuck, man? What the hell's going on? I don't know what the... Okay, it'll keep fixing. Okay, I'm just going to cap, and hopefully this will fix itself. But I could pop myself in and out here. The Stamps have to slow down Trey Ford. He ran for 135 yards. That's a record for Canadian quarterbacks, and I love the guy. But everybody knows what's happening now, and so I'm not betting the over immediately. I'm not doing that. Slatsy went 3-0 in the Elks game. First half plus 12 and that. Oh, first half plus 2.5 or 1.5. That's because could you hit me with that again, Slatsy? And Elks a -1.5. And he loves Trey Ford. Stamps 8 straight wins. As you know what, with all this being said and done, I'm going to need to sit with this game longer because you don't hear anybody on the Stamps, which I understand. And now everybody knows who the Elks are. I just think this game's a little more complicated than maybe we have it set up. And it's not like it's going to be filled at Commonwealth. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this game. I'll spend a little bit more time. But Bombers need to be backed in every conceivable way. The Alouettes and the Owls team total over interest me. Now, this total is very high. I have to see what that team total is. And the Redblacks team total over first half full game also are all very, very interesting to me. Okay, Jose, do you think I should back out of this here? And no, okay, all right. Well, let's move into college football now. Let's get Dabra Cadabra in business here, and we have a lot of fun and excitement. I also stand by the spots that I gave out yesterday and that I bet. And one game I've taken some derision for. We also have Dabra Cadabra talking about that game. So, but I'm really excited about my NC State Old Dominion and Cal looks. So let's go. We're going to start with Friday night action, but first we are going to bring on the star of our Saturday NCAA football live streams alongside Dutch Boy Fresh. And what a game they have tomorrow. Yes, what a game. Colorado at home, their home opener with all the hype around them against the Huskers and Matt Rule. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, none other than Dabra Cadabra. Dabby, how are you?
I'm good, Jimmy. I'm good, man. Saturdays feel like fucking Christmas for me, so I'm ready. I'm ready for football to kick off tomorrow. I'm ready to be live tomorrow. This game, this Nebraska-Colorado game, man, it's almost as exciting as football gets, and that's so crazy to say that about Colorado versus Nebraska.
Yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, but things have changed drastically, and I don't know. I mean, Colorado's just must-watch TV, and when sports get like that, my dad, who's not even that well, he's a Pack guy, but he couldn't stop talking. He's like, he didn't want to talk about anything else. He's like, I don't want to talk about any other sports. I don't want to talk about he just couldn't believe, what he saw from the Sanders family. So it's pretty exciting. JT Eel, yes, I can promise you we will cap the Arizona-Chicago Cubs game before it starts, because it doesn't start for 2 hours and 39 minutes. So that is a guarantee there. Jewel Holder riding with me on NC State. I like that. All right, let's get to work here. Dabby Cab, we start with Friday night action here. We've heard from Kay Graham on Illinois plus 3.5. I wonder where is Saturated. I want to hear what Saturated thinks of this giant spot. And we heard BJ's best bet. He is on the Jayhawks money line. We are in David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas. 81 Fahrenheit, sunny, 7 miles per hour. Let's get to the weather right now, first and foremost. Oh, sorry. Did I say weather? Jesus, I'm just struggling with lack of sleep. I'm going to be making mistakes with verbiage all day. Let's get over to the line history here and break this down. Move over to NCAA football. And here we go. We also have Bobano and C-Max breakdown as our showcase video on Pub Sports Radio. We've had it since that game ended last night. Let's move into the line history here. We will look at Pinnacle's line moves here. And this is just a must-cap game. This is not one of Dabby's best bets. Kansas opening up at -3, -108. They're now -3.5 at -104. So we have a half-point move to Kansas at home after both teams were very disappointing in week one. We take a look at the total. We are sitting here at 56.5. This opened up at 55.5. The interesting part about all of this is that on Wednesday at 11:50 a.m., this moved up to 58.5. So that was the high watermark there. It's come down 2 points since then. And it was 57.5 yesterday at 5 p.m., moved to 56.5 last night. We still have a 1-point move to the under and a move towards the Jayhawks. Robert Franklin said already on the Jayhawks, the same Illinois team defense from last year. So Jayhawks just need to make 3 or 4 spots. Wine Time got in on the under at 57. Great job on the under last night. Wine time, Justin Mackel, we got Kansas minus 155, while Raymond Reichart is on the other side at plus 3.5. And Paul Taylor, the Sailor, your comment popped up, and I was on the grind and I couldn't go over to it, but you had great comment on our YouTube video, and I will be able to at some point have a second and reply to it there. But I love hearing your insights, Paul Taylor, the Sailor. There's Big Show picks. Kelly McInnes in the house. Okay.
Big Show.
So let's take a look at the cash then for this one. And we have 35% of the tickets on Illinois and 49% of the cash, but the market moved off of that crucial 3 on Kansas. Let's take a look at the total. This total is 74% of the tickets, but just 59% of the cash on the over. 26% of tickets and 41% of cash on the under. And it got too high. It just got too high. North Ender leaning towards Illinois. Let's go. Illinois opened their season with a 30-28 win at home over Toledo as 7-point favorites. Toledo, their offense was supposed to be a problem this year. It was a problem last year, even though they were good. And they were able to drive on Kansas. On Illinois. That was a surprise to all. And that's why we had the comments on Illinois' defense from Robert Franklin. Do we have enough sample size to say that Illinois' defense is a real problem? Kansas comes in off a 48-17 win at home over Missouri State as 32.5-point favorites. It was 17-10 at the half. These teams both looked bad. Kansas against FCS competition. Now, you can say for Kansas, Jalen Daniels wasn't there. He's back, and he's going to be in business. That's a fair statement. Well, let's hear it from a college football expert. Take it away for us, Dabby Cab, Illinois, Kansas, Friday Night Football.
One of the first things you said was brought up Saturated and said you wanted to know what he thought. I had to shout him out, man, because last year he got me to take Brown's rushing prop game 1, and we were live for that first Illinois game because it was a Friday night. And we bet his rushing prop, and it hit. And I was so impressed by watching this kid that I said to everybody on the stream, I said, I'm going to bet this every single game until it doesn't hit twice in a row. It hit 8 weeks in a row. They kept boosting it up and up. We hit that fucking bet 8 weeks in a row, Jimmy. And like, that was serious money in the bank account. Like, as much as we enjoy, like, being up here and everything, like, you made me a lot of money, Saturated, with that. So shout out to you, man. And, he's not there anymore. I just had to say that, but this game is, I'll start off the top by saying I was leaning Illinois here. I haven't bet it yet. And the only reason is because, the Jayhawks on offense, they're returning a lot of experience. They return the most experience in the country, actually, on offense. So, and, even though they had Daniels out in week 1, they still had over 500 yards of offense. I think he should be playing in this game because, if you listen to what the coach's comments were on him, he said that he didn't really necessarily play because of the injury. He didn't play because of lack of reps. So that shouldn't be a problem coming into this game. He should have got plenty of reps. He should be able to, take the spot here. And like you touched on Toledo, their offense is not nearly as dangerous as Kansas. So really the only thing that's got me worried here is, I think Kansas might be able to, put up some early points, maybe get ahead early in this game. And so this is one where I'd really look at it as, like, if Kansas scores first, which they very easily could, they probably should. If Kansas scores first, I might take Illinois at an adjusted line live. I just don't think their defense is exactly what it was. I think Kansas wins this game, but I think it's close. And because I think it's close, I think if I can get Illinois live, that's a great bet.
The reports and the media after Toledo was so good offensively has to make you think that everything will tighten up, that clearly the Illini, didn't put enough emphasis on how Toledo was going to attack them. And I think, what do you think about this, that this got too high, that the public was betting this up and then the sharps came down and put it and bet towards the under? Hearing wine time on the under, expecting Illinois to be much stronger on defense after a slap in the face. Sometimes you want that slap in the face week 1 And then is Jalen Daniels going to be in midseason form? Maybe it'd be a first half under. We know that Illinois is going to want to keep Kansas off the field as much as possible with long drives. What do you think of trying to get under this very, very high number?
I would definitely initially just lean under here. Also, if you look at this, like I said, I think Kansas is your only threat to put up any points, really. Illinois, their drives are going to be long. They're going to be lethargic drives. A lot of running the ball, trying to eat the clock. You said it. Illinois' way to stay in this game is by eating the clock, and I think this is going to be a close game. So I would think it would go under.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't expect until wine time, and then seeing that it clearly hit a high water mark when Sharp started betting it down. 57.5. You get a defense in Illinois that was strong last year. Clearly, after watching them for a week, they don't look like the same, but they got the slap in the face to maybe step up a bit. And we know about Kansas. You talked about the returners on offense and how dangerous they can be. Jalen Daniels coming back, and if he'll be right, that first half might be the best way to look at the under. I'm very interested in this under. Now, this is not part of your best bets, Dabra Kadabra. Are you making a move on this game, or do you want to get into best bet time?
We could go ahead and roll on because, I think I texted you. I'm going to give out 5 bets in just a few games that we're talking college football here.
I like it. I'm pumped up. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. It is time for best bet time in college football, and I'm nervous about what your best bet is in this next one, 12 p.m. Eastern. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2-0 at the NC State Wolfpack 1-0 Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm not going to get into all the reasons, that I broke down yesterday why I'm on NC State, but I do think that a win over Navy and a win over Tennessee State is exactly, and then going on the road. And I don't think Ireland was a legit road spot. This is the kind of spot where the public's going to be all over Notre Dame. It's just the spot that I love. I just fucking love. And
do you have a ticket count on it?
I will pull it up right now here. And also, but there's more than that. The going up against Sam Hartman, Doran's done it, being there. The fact that NC State lost their home winning streak against Boston College last year, so they don't need to worry about any of that bullshit. There's just so many different things that I like here, and as much as this NC State defense, lost Drake Thomas and Isaiah Moore, they were very good last year, and I think they're going to be very good this year here. And Kong's Clips, you're not going to be alone. I would imagine 80% of tickets will be on Notre Dame in this one. So you're not alone. Let's take a look at the line history now here on this one. We have, first off, this total is sitting now at 50.5. So it is dropped from yesterday. Yesterday when we did the show, it was at 51.5. Actually, it moved to 50.5 just before the show started yesterday, but it had been at 51.5 the night prior. And then from a point spread side of things here, we have, we are now still sitting exactly where it was. The 7.5 yesterday was getting juiced. It was getting bet. And I thought that it would go down to 7. That was not the case. There was a big move on Notre Dame in the last 18 hours. This got down to the 7.5 for Notre Dame, going up to minus 115 at 10 a.m. And since 10 a.m., there's been an 8-cent move back to NC State. So where we are is exactly where we started. The circle is just. Let's take a look at the total or cash flow here for this one. We talked about it yesterday. We're talking about it here again. The total has 36% of the tickets and 57% of cash on the under, and I'm very interested in that, but I don't really want to get in the way of what I've got. We have 75% of the tickets on Notre Dame right now and just under half of the money. And that's my wheelhouse if we are to believe in these numbers. I know there's a a lot of thought about not putting too much belief in it, but this is exactly where I want to be. NC State has 25% of the cash and 51% of tickets, and the market was moving slightly in their direction. Billy Friedrich says, do you think this moves to 7? I don't know anymore. I don't know. Here we go. Take it away for us here, Dabby Cab. I can't wait to hear your breakdown. And if you are on the other side, please don't. This is part of the fun. Take it away, Notre Dame.
No, yeah, I'm on the other side, but you got a lot of really good cappers in the chat with you. I've got people in chats that I'm in that are on the same side with you. I'd say that you're definitely on the sharp side. There's no question about that. So as far as that goes, and I don't look into it too much, for anyone who doesn't know, Jimmy, I know you know this, and I know a lot of the people in the chat that have, been here since I started rocking with you guys. I bet college sports a little bit different. A lot of the times I attack the first half with favorites that are heavily bet full game, and I get a cover in the first half where somebody doesn't get a cover in the full game. And that's where I'm at looking at this one. You look at NC State's offense, last year they weren't great. They were just averaging 24.3 points per game on the season. They have 7 starters back, so they're getting a little more experience to it. But that offense looked rough against UConn, and I'll say one thing, especially in college football, coaches hold back. They'll look very robotic if they've got an easy task week 1, just to keep some of the plays back, to keep things fresh for the better competition. And I promise, they had Notre Dame circled, so I'm not putting too much stock into it. But really what they relied on the whole game was their rushing. And I don't think that's going to be easy for him. I'm not a huge Armstrong fan. Okay. I didn't like him at Virginia. I don't like him now. He threw for just 155 yards with no touchdowns, no interceptions, against UConn. I think this Notre Dame defense is going to be too much for him. They had a great defense last year. It was their inconsistent offense that kept them, from being able to do anything. And you look at this, changes this year with Sam Hartman and QB. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. So it's very hard to quantify how different I think Notre Dame is this year than they are last year. I think Notre Dame, because of, their schedule, I think they're in a prime spot to make a run this season, maybe to get to the playoffs. I think they know that. And I think this game they have circled because, next week, I already forgot. It was some nobody. They play nobody next week. This is they had a cupcake last week. They have a cupcake next week. This game against NC State's got to be circled for Notre Dame here. They know what's at stake. Even though it's early, I know it's week 2, but guys, you got to remember college football is not very forgiving. Like you can't make very many mistakes as far as losses on the season. So I got Notre Dame in the first half here. Like I said, I give them the QB edge like massively. I don't like Armstrong. I like Sam Hartman a lot more. And then I give him the defensive edge also. So, if I'm giving the defensive edge and the quarterback edge to Notre Dame, I gotta put my money on them some way, shape, or form. I would not be surprised if at the end of this game, NC State is down by 10. They kick a field goal and they're getting an onside kick to try and tie the game, and they cover the spread by the hook. That wouldn't shock me. So I'm on the first half here.
Dabby is on the first half. Did you tweet it out?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What did you get?
3.5. Let me see what my juice was. Minus 115.
So let's take this a step further now. We've had 2 days to sit with this, with my breakdown yesterday, with the chat. Everybody in the chat's had 2 days to sit with this game. So we think that Notre Dame's capable of stopping the run, but NC State will continue to run. We also, like, a very, very important thing that you touched on was that Doran didn't want to show anything against UConn when he knew Notre Dame was coming to town. So I think that's a huge, huge point of emphasis here. Also, for me, I and Armstrong were together 2 years ago when he looked like an up-and-coming quarterback at Virginia. Now, obviously, last year was atrocious. So with all of that being said, do you think that the Sharps being on the under is a smart look and that this under is live?
I think that the under correlates with NC State. I don't know if that really helps to answer it. I don't have as much, and even if I don't have a lean, I don't want to give the chat I don't have a feel on this total so much. I'm I'm going to learn a lot about Notre Dame in this game and Sam Hartman and how good he actually is and how much this offense has changed. Because I could, lose my bet to you. You could win your bet. I lose my bet, and I could be motherfucking them at halftime. But I'm very interested to see, Jimmy. I think Notre Dame can put up serious points against a lot of people this year, but we're about to find out.
It's going to be a lot of fun. One of those games where, you have friends on either side. I got Darren Turner rolling with me, Wine Time rolling with me, a bunch of cappers roll. Justin McElvey rolling with me.
Jimmy, I have several friends who are cappers that I've met, through this chat. Wine Time's one of them. And I've had 3 people text me today and say, damn, I'm on the other side with NC State. And I'm just like, man, well, at least one of us is going to win.
It's part of the fun. Bragging right. That's why the cappers contest is so much fun, is because you're going up against your friends, and and one of us is going to make at least $4K with the winner. I want more. I want one of us to make $5K, but more people, please. You have till 10 p.m. Eastern Saturday to sign up. Please sign up. If we get to 100, it'd just be so much fun. So much fun. This is great. This is going to be really fun. Markel is on Notre Dame. BJ's on Notre Dame. Nasty Nate is on Notre Dame. So Daryl Turner and Darren Turner, right? Going heads up. Daryl Turner, Darren Turner heads up. We'll see who's the
real Turner.
the better Turner, the better D Turner here. Okay, let's roll. Reclaim James says, go Irish. Robert Franklin says, if Notre Dame can keep Armstrong in the pocket, this game could get ugly. I mean, I really love the point of the vanilla offense that was dropped, in game 1 for NC State. But Armstrong ran for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, they're going to be running, and he's going to be running, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Reclaim James on Notre Dame. Okay. And BJ says, I don't like laying points like that on the road. This is a pass game, but if I had to choose Notre Dame for show, says a parlay piece if you want, like Troy said. Okay, let's roll on. We have our big football game here. This is our Saturday live stream starring Dabby Cab and Dutch Boy Fresh. Jose, if you could grab the thumbnail for it, it's a beautiful it's a really cool thumbnail. If you could grab it at some point and pop it on over this breakdown, we would all love that. And I love how Jose is a very capable producer, can do stuff that I could never dream of. But I am 43. He's a young man.
I'm a man.
He is a man. You're all men. You're all men. You're all men. And some of you are women, and that's great. No boys. That was just me. But I don't think he signs for. I don't think he hits 400 milli. I like that bet I got with Jose. I do owe Jose a couple steaks, so this will be the 3rd steak. So we'll go for steaks every night. We'll go for steaks every night if he signs for over 400 milli. Okay,
the 3rd week I've been live without Jose owing me. He owed me a steak for a full year, and he finally paid it. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. He paid my steaks too. I haven't paid his. I got to pay his. All right, let's go here. This is the big game in the sports lexicon right now, and the market moves have been so much fun to watch. Now, some books are sharp and scared, like Pinnacle. Some books are much more ballsy, but if you want them, they'll give you limits, like Bet Online. So let's just see Bet Online. Now, a lot of these books, unless you got a early spot here, a look ahead spot before the big victory in TCU, you could have got a nice line. But all these spots open this at 3. They all opened it at 3 when Nebraska now rated the 22nd best team in America. Let's see. Pinnacle has moved this to 2.5. This has been bouncing from 3 to 2.5. This opened up at 3. It drops to 2.5. It dropped to 2.5 yesterday at 3:30 p.m. And then it got back up to 3 at 2 in the morning. And it just dropped back to 2.5 45 minutes ago. So we have a very slight move at this number towards Nebraska. And we know how popular Colorado is right now. Let's go to the total here. This total is climbing, but this got up to 60. It got up to 60 when? It got up to 60. Sorry, here. It got up to it got up to 60 here very shortly 2 days ago in the afternoon. Since then, it's come down to 59. BetChris has this at 58.5. So let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. We have 78% of the tickets, 78% of cash on Colorado, and yet it's gone from 3 to 2.5. 78 and 78. From a total side of things, you have 46% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on the under. The public slightly on the over, and it's gone down. It went from 57.5 up to 60 down to 59. I don't see how Nebraska can play in a barn burner with Colorado. Rule has to slow this down. Troy Torrance says the look ahead was Colorado plus 7.5. They've got to slow this down. Earl Sports Bet says overreaction much. Nebraska money line is the play. TJ says happy holding Nebraska plus 4 and Nebraska money line at plus 175. Arnillo says Travis Hunter anytime move from minus 125. Move to minus 125 from plus 225 yesterday. He probably scores twice. Wine Time Sports says I haven't bet this game and I really don't want to. Says I lean the under. Colorado played a horrible TCU defense last week. Nebraska going to clamp down on the Slow Jams Arsenal says as good as Colorado look, Matt Rule's not chopped liver. Cornhuskers. BJ Colorado money line. Joe Yurgovich. It's fun having with Joe. He says it's not an overreaction. It's just a reaction.
There's one way to put it. I like that.
I like it too.
I like that.
All right, so we're in Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado, 74 Fahrenheit, sunny, 3 miles per hour. Neon Dion makes his home. It gets much warmer because this is a very early start, right, in Colorado. It gets much warmer as the game goes on, but it starts at kickoff 74 Fahrenheit. Neon Dion makes his home debut. Nebraska comes in off a very tough 13-10 loss at Minnesota as 7.5-point dogs. And, Matt Rule now is going to try to turn around a program that's been in the dumps, and that's the same thing that Neon Dion did in a week. And Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Dylan Edwards are monsters. What an opportunity for Matt Rule after the debacle in the NFL. Can he stop the runaway primetime train? Let's hear what Dabber Cadabra thinks of this one. Folsom Field, this is our live bet stream with Dabby and Dutch. Take it away.
Man, I can't wait to be live for this game. Doing live college football was one of my favorite things that I've gotten to do. So I hope to see all you guys in the chat out there. There is so much to unpack in this game. So much. And, first place I'll start is this total suggests, you said you don't think Nebraska can keep up with the barn burner. This total suggests that they think there's going to be a lot of points scored. And if that is the case, I would lean Colorado. Now, I'll start by saying this. I believed before TCU. I watched Colorado's spring game, and I don't know if anybody else watched. I love college football that much. I watch a lot of spring games, but Colorado's spring game, their stadium was fucking packed, Jimmy. I know it's not the biggest stadium, but that was the first time in my life where I'd watched that stadium and it was full. It was such a cool thing to see that it was sold out. It was rocking, and that's what's going to be happening here today. I mean, the fans are going to be inspired. This team is inspired, and I know Nebraska's defense looked great against Minnesota, but listen, Minnesota is not Colorado's aerial attack. Those are two different teams when we're talking about offense. And I just touched on the fact that Prime's at home here for his first game with the Buffaloes. I don't think they're going to miss a beat. He's going to have that team in tune. They're going to be in sync. I think there's just too many playmakers on this offense for the Huskers. Now, I will talk for the other side also because I don't have a pregame bet. Colorado's defense was not good. They had some very big plays. They had some guys that went and got a few balls like they were on the offensive side as a receiver, the way they made the move on the ball on defense. A couple great interceptions. But as far as their defense went, TCU was ripping off chunks with ease. I'm talking so many plays where there wasn't a fucking Buffalo defender within 10 yards of the ball for the first 10, 12 yards of the play. It was just insanity. Their defense is not good. I want to put that out there. They have a lot of room to improve on defense. And I'm interested to see what Prime does. Does he improve them this week? Because he saw that too. I know Prime saw the same thing. he had to outgun him. Sanders at quarterback was just fucking amazing. By the way, every ball that he threw was in the right spot at the right time to the right receiver. A lot of these college games you'll watch, like especially with the LSU FSU game. There's balls that are thrown, that are batted up in the air that just barely fall to the ground. Balls that are thrown directly at defenders. These college quarterbacks, they make mistakes. Sanders didn't make a mistake with the ball once, not one time. He didn't need luck for the ball to hit the ground. Every ball that he threw was to the right receiver at the right time. And that's what I took that was most impressive about week 1 for Colorado. I lean Colorado. I will absolutely be live betting this game with Dutch. We're gonna be locked in on this game. We're gonna try and, a lot of times on the live streams, sometimes I'll get up there and when I've hosted them before and we'll have, different games on. We're gonna be focused on one game, this game right here, and we're gonna be betting it live. We're not gonna be, all over the place. We're gonna be locked in on it. So I'm looking at Colorado here, and I'm gonna be kicking myself if I don't take this pregame bet and they come out hot.
If it's under a field goal, is it because in your game script you think Nebraska could get up early? Because under a field goal, if you want Colorado, is there a thought that maybe the pressure on Colorado will weigh on them early? The reason why I ask though is because
their defense is where my problem is, Jimmy. Like I touched on it. I'm talking there wasn't anybody around the ball for 10, 12 yards on some of these plays, and they're 10 yards deep into the play. I'm like, where the fuck is the defense? Just easy gains, just chunk gains. That's what I had a problem with.
The concern here is that if you're right, you're not going to get a chance to live bet.
Yep. That's true.
And that's what I don't that's what I try not to have happen on my live streams. Because then I'll just get pissed off because I'm right. And look what I made, $0. Now I have to be a part of a live stream with you. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. And
so college football, and we did this last year. I won't do it in the NFL, but in college football, they have bets like if a team's going to go down and score on the next drive or not. And you can usually get pretty good odds on it. There are so many different ways to live bet college football. And that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy being live with college football when we do this.
Okay, so you're going to look from drive to drive.
I mean, the whole game I'm going to be locked in to bet it.
Okay. No, that's different if you're looking at it like that. So then it doesn't matter what you don't necessarily need a side or a total if you're going to go drive to drive.
And I might bet quarter to quarter too. So like a lot of times, a lot of what we cashed last year at halftime was we'd take a third quarter bet, right? You break it down, who's getting the ball, exactly where the game's at, exactly where the number's at. It's all right there in front of you.
Very, very, very exciting. Do we have an idea what Dutch is doing at this point?
I want to say that he's Colorado, but I haven't seen him tweet it out. So,
okay. There it is. That is our show on Saturday. So that's right after Saturday. Thank you, Jose, for getting up so quickly. That's right after Saturday Means Football with Peter Loshak and Big Man on Campus. Right after that, we have the giant Nebraska Colorado game. Good God, is that going to be fun? I wish I could have got to all the comments here because there's so many good ones in the chat. But we got to move on because we have a huge MLB card that we got to hammer again. But I loved all the comments. You can tell when there's an exciting game going on. That was the most comments I think we've had in the game. And I didn't even get to 40, 50 of them. It's going to be extremely enjoyable. So please join us here on Saturday for a fucking big one, man. It's amazing what primetime can bring to the sport. God damn it, needed it. Everybody talking about the transfer portal and all this negativity. Primetime, let's change the story and enjoy some college football. So it's good for sports, good for football. All right, let's move on. We move on to 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The 23 ranked Texas A&M Aggies, a team that Dabby Cab knows very, very well. For those of you who don't know, and I know a lot of you guys do, but Debbie, can you please just quickly touch on both you and your father's history in Texas sports, in Texas college sports?
You could probably see it. Where is it? On this side? That's my pops tackling Eric Dickerson right there with the A&M helmet on. Here, I can show it to you. For anybody who wants to see it.
Oh, that's so dope, man. That's so dope.
Right. That's what I like of all the people to be tackling is fucking Eric Dickerson, right? So I'm gonna set this right here so I can put it back up carefully. My pops played, he was a free safety at Texas A&M. He started for a couple years there. So I grew up watching this team, but I'll tell everybody one thing, man. I do not bet with my heart. I bet with my head. I will bet against any team that I root for. I don't give a damn. All I care about is my bank account. I grew up wanting to play at A&M also. My mom actually played basketball there, Jimmy. I don't know if I've told you that, because that kind of gets put behind, but my mom played basketball there. My dad played football there at A&M. So I grew up, I figured I'd probably play baseball there. And then I just got offered more money from Texas Tech. So I went to Texas Tech and played baseball there. It was, it was a business. And it's funny because it was right around that time when I made that, business decision where there were, I had a offer from the Brewers. I had an offer from different colleges. Some places like junior college, this was before, college athletes could make money on their name, but I had like San Jacinto Junior College. They offered me 110% scholarship. So they were literally going to pay me to be there. Like it was already a thing. And all I'm getting at is when sports became a business, like up here, is when gambling, it's like, it's easy to choose how you're going to bet regardless of how you feel about a team. It's all business. That's all it is.
Oh, that was fucking awesome. That's some Jesus. That's this is what makes our community so special. We have all types of different cappers that roll with us, and you are having the insights that you bring to the table is extremely exciting for all of us. That was very cool. I almost got think of your dad putting his fucking helmet into the chest of Eric Dickerson. Gives me goosebumps. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. This is a tough test for Texas. We have back-to-back tough tests. We're going to talk about the Aggies in Hard Rock Stadium. And then we're going to talk about the Longhorns in Tuscaloosa. So those are the next two games for us on the board. And then we're going to get into baseball. 88 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour. Let's take a look at this one from a line history standpoint. 3:30 p.m. start here. The total is sitting at 51. It opened at 49.5. It got up to 52.5. Again, a high watermark spot. That's very important for everybody to know. When did it hit the high watermark if you're going to be making these decisions? High watermark, low watermark, where is it now? This is sitting at 51, so it's gone up 1.5 points. Let's take a look at the side here, spread-wise, in this giant game. Ooh, wow. Can Cristobal put it together? It was a good start for him. He has a lot of people that do not believe in him. And here we have Texas A&M traveling in week 2 as a road favorite. They open up at 4.5. It quickly moves to 4. Now that 4 was juiced to minus 115 for Texas A&M. Minus 4, minus 115. That is no longer the case. That is now an even money spot for Texas A&M, which if it continues in this direction would lead you to believe that 3.5 will be showing up shortly. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this spot here. 3:30 p.m. start. I just say that so I can get to the game quickly. I don't mean to keep repeating that. And here we go. For that total, that's gone up. 69% of the tickets and 80% of cash are on the over. 52.5 was its high point. It's sitting at 51 right now at Pinnacle. From a spread perspective, you have 50% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on Texas A&M, and we are moving in the direction of the Hurricanes. Wine Time Sports says I could only take Texas A&M, but I can't trust Jimbo Fisher yet. Jimbo Fisher versus Mario Cristobal. Now, are we going to have more fun talking about Sarkisian versus Saban? Yes, we are. But let's start here. Aggies coming off a 52-10 win at home versus New Mexico as 37.5-point favorites. Connor Wegman, first Aggie to pass for 5 touchdowns in regulation since that booze bag Johnny football. He finished 18-23 for 236 yards, and he didn't play the fourth. This is a dangerous, dangerous front seven for the Aggies. And Miami just ran for 250 yards on the ground last week. Who'd they run against? Miami of Ohio, a MAC team. Are they going to be able to run against that Aggies front seven? Josh DeBerry, who transferred over from Boston College, was an absolute monster in his debut. Look, Tyler Van Dyke looked like a different quarterback against the MAC team. But sometimes you need a little bit of confidence, especially in a spotlight school like Miami and all the negativity that both Cristobal and Van Dyke took. Take it away, Dabby Cab. The floor is yours. A&M, Miami.
So, I'll start with this about A&M because obviously I pay attention close. I want everybody who also pays attention to think when Connor Wigman came in at quarterback for A&M and think about what they've done since he came in at quarterback, because I remember exactly what I was doing. I was watching an Alabama game that A&M had a chance, to keep. They definitely covered the spread without question, but they had a chance to win. And I saw this freshman come in and I said, man, fuck. Then I watched him drive the team down the field against Alabama and the most tense situation you could possibly be in as a fucking true freshman. And since then, he hasn't thrown a single interception, okay? He doesn't have one interception in a game. He was 18 for 23 last game passing. Now, I know that it wasn't against, good competition. New Mexico is nothing. But there's still something to be said about making the pass and hitting the receiver in the hands, right? He was 18 for 23. This kid I'm excited about at quarterback. And A&M, I don't like Jimbo, okay? I cannot stand Jimbo's offense. And the good news, shout out to the chat because I forgot who it was, but somebody just said can't trust Jimbo. I think it might have been Winetime. We don't have to on offense. A&M went and got Petrino for a reason, okay? He's calling plays. Jimbo is letting him run the offense. He's a great offensive mind. And I think it showed already in week one, regardless of competition. A&M couldn't score fucking 30 points against anyone last year. I don't care who it was. So I think they're in an interesting situation. Then you look, Miami coming into this game too. Both teams off cupcakes. So this is going to be a test. A&M didn't win one game against a Power 5 conference on the road last year. And then you look across, at Miami, they can't win against quality opponents whatsoever last season. They had one win against a winning record team last season, and that was Southern Miss, who finished the season 7-6. Like, that's nothing to be, proud of. So I'm just going to say this. I think A&M's got the better team in all facets of the field. I hope that I'm not horribly disappointed, but I genuinely think, and I'm not saying this as a fan, I genuinely think that all those recruits – Last year coming out ranked number 6 was way too much fucking pressure for this team. Jimbo is not a good enough offensive coach. Things were destined to happen how they happened. This year, there's not as much pressure. There's not as much talk. They have a fucking badass at quarterback, which I do know for a fact. Evans and some of their other receivers are finally starting to get comfortable. We're going to see some of that 5-star talent, that out-recruited Alabama that everyone was talking about. We're going to see it rise to the top this season. So A&M first half full game.
A&M double up here. Let's line this up for Dabby. Dabby, can you touch on the total for us? Daryl Turner says Texas A&M at home is easy money, but on the road he likes the under. He says that when Texas A&M versus Miami games tend to play to the under. And Sean Pulliam, the booze bag play of the day is Colorado first half minus a half, minus 115. Can you touch on your expectations if you are uncomfortable with Jimbo's offensive schemes or the offensive schemes under him? Do you like this to be under 51?
Well, I am comfortable with Petrino, though, because, he's an offensive coordinator this year for A&M. That's like a big move. Those are huge fucking personalities to put on the same team. And I was curious to see, how it would play out. But Jimbo has said that he's stepping aside and handing off the offense. So, I mean, he's come out and verbally said that, like in interviews. He's talked about it. So as long as Jimbo's, recruiting, doing what Jimbo's good at doing, recruiting, I'm good with it. So, I think that we get points here. I think A&M probably, if this game was, if I'm going to throw a score out there. Maybe like 32-24 or something like that. I think that would put it where I'd see it landing. So probably over, honestly.
Let's get your action here. And the reason why, have you tweeted this out?
Yeah, I tweeted out first half full game.
Okay, so tell me what you got. My bad.
I got you. Let me pull it up. Some of my lines could be better or worse at this point. Like, I think I got a worse line on Notre Dame. A&M, 2.5 in the first half, -115. 4 full game, -110.
First half, -2.5, -115. Sorry, look at that here. -2.5, -115. And full game, -4, -110. Yeah, interesting. Pinnacles put that at even money. I'll be interested to see where it comes up. Is there anybody here in the chat that is on? Oh, you're damn right we are. I get money. You're damn right we're blind betting the Orioles with no qualms. No qualms. Is anybody betting Miami?
Oh, I saw a bunch of people in there that said Miami, I think. I'll go up for you. Hold on.
Oh.
Where is it? Morgan said he likes Miami. Didn't say he bet it, though.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I put Morgan up. I thought he said he likes Miami money line. Okay, Morgan Spooner. Okay, likes Miami money line. Reclaim James says Miami offensive line will shove A&M wherever they want. Do you agree with that statement?
Listen, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
The front seven for A&M is not their problem. If they lose this game, it will not be because of their front seven.
TJ got in on Miami at +5.5. Says pass now. Reclaim James on leaning Miami +4. All right, let's move on to can you believe that there's a bigger game than Texas, Alabama? And it's Colorado, Nebraska?
That's what I'm saying.
It's fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. Yes, Nate Dogg asking for a link to sign up for the Capper contest. Jose, if you could pop that up here, please do. Texas Longhorns 1-0, Alabama Crimson Tide 1-0, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Tuscaloosa, 82 Fahrenheit, mostly sunny, 8 miles per hour. Let's pull up the line history here for this one. Good God, is this a big game? And it's going to be even bigger in years to come, but when it's an SEC battle. And the SEC have not looked good. So this is a big, I don't know how games get bigger than this, but let's pull up the line history. I don't know why. Oh, here we go. We are sitting here with Alabama as 7-point favorites. This moved to 8 as soon as the line came out on Sunday. This moved to 8 immediate. No, it took an hour and a half, moved to 8. Then 2 hours later, it's right back at 7. There's been times when the 7 has become juiced up to -120. It's not right now. It's slightly juiced. -7, -109. Let's get to the total here for this one. Move over here. Get to the total here for this fucking bad boy. It's sitting at 54. Unlike all of the other games we've spoken of, this total has gone down. It opened up at 55.5. On Monday, it got up to 56, and then it started getting bet to the under, and we're down to 54. Move over to the cash flow here. And my God, I didn't talk about the A&M cash. Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry, I did. Okay. Let's move over to the cash flow here for this giant football game. We have 41% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the Longhorns. And maybe that's why the line's not moving. 59% of the tickets are on Alabama. We know Alabama's public. That's very interesting. Total-wise, 63% of tickets, 71% of cash on the under. It's moving towards the under. Texas comes in off a 37-10 win at home over Rice as 35.5-point favorites. We can be pretty certain that they did not want to show anything in that football game. And maybe Dabby can touch on that. We have Sarkisian versus Saban. We know Sarkisian was the offensive coordinator in that last national championship for Alabama. We also remember the 2019 loss for the Longhorns last year. And again, LSU, South Carolina, Florida looked really bad. Alabama comes in off a 56-7 home win over Middle Tennessee State as 39.5-point favorites. And this is the last time that these teams battle in separate conferences. Next year, SEC. Take it away for us here at Dabby Cab, Longhorns, Crimson Tide.
I sit here while I'm waiting because you do such a good job introducing these games. I try so hard not to like sound like a jackass because we know how gambling goes. And if you're like, oh, first off, you don't use the word lock, but if you act like you really like something and overhype it and then it loses, like you feel like an ass. In college football, it's really hard for me to talk about my bets and not be that jackass because I get so passionate about what I'm betting here. Look, the Longhorns are relevant again. I get it. It's good. It's good for the state. I think they're in for a really fucking rude awakening right here. Everyone remembers last year's game. It was very close. Texas probably should have won it. Alabama was riddled with fucking penalties in that game. And anybody who knows a Nick Saban team knows they don't do that. And absolutely just riddled with penalties. Both of these two teams looked damn near robotic in the first week, like we talked about, not trying to show things off. And I can tell you both of these teams had the next game circled that they were paying attention to, right? Both of these teams have been prepping for this game. This has been what's in their mind. And if you look at what Alabama did, they had 0 turnovers and only two penalties in week 1. That 2 penalties speaks volumes to me, saying that, you know, they're focusing on not pulling that bullshit that they pulled against Texas last year. And now this year, Texas is coming to Alabama to play this game. This stadium is going to be rocking. And this is, I think people, you know, Alabama has shown that they're not the one and only top dog, with Georgia winning a couple titles. You know, Alabama played a lot of games close. They almost lost to A&M last year. You know, almost lost to Texas. They're just showing chinks in their armor. But it's still Alabama, and this is a professional fucking football team. And I think Alabama's defense is going to give Texas a fucking rude slap in the face right here. I know that the Longhorns have talent, but when you see what this locked-in Bama defense does to them Saturday, I think you're going to again, this is where I'm not trying to sound overconfident. I think we're going to see that Alabama's going to make a fucking statement here. And is Texas better? Yes. Is their program relevant again? Yes. They are not in the conversation with the elites yet, and Alabama's going to make sure they know that.
Is this a double up spot for you?
Yeah, I got first half full game.
What were the lines that you got for Bama?
3.5 minus on the first half, and then 7 minus 110 full game.
Ooh-wee. They're saturated. Saturated, you got a lot of love if you watch back the Kansas spot. The Kansas breakdown, you got a lot of love from our guy Dabby Cab, Saturated. So please go back and check it out because you got a lot of love. Justin McElvey says Alabama being on my card -7. We got to get an MLB. I was hoping to get through football early, faster than an hour and a half. We've got TJ joining us as well. So let's review college football action. First off, for me, I'm on NC State +7.5, Old Dominion +6, and Cal +6.5. And for Dabby Cab, we have, sorry, let me move this over here. Sorry, take a second. For Dabby Cab, we have first half -3.5 for Notre Dame. We have over here, we have A&M first half -2.5, full game -4. Bama first half -3.5 and -7. Saturated, all good, my man. Oh, good, get it. You need to be emptied sometimes, Saturated, just to keep a level head. So go out there and get emptied. There we go. I'm interested in the under in Illinois, Kansas. I'd like to hear if you like that under, Saturated. K Graham on Illinois +3.5. BJ's best bet is Kansas money line at -160. There we go. And the Sharon Pulliam booze bag play of the day, Colorado first half, -0.5, -115. All right, let's move on to MLB, and we start with a bang. Right off the hop, you are about to receive a gift. Are you going to open up your arms for this gift? Please welcome TJ to the show. We've missed you, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How about you guys?
We are good. How you doing, Dabby?
Man, I'm living life, TJ. I'm about to get a gift from you.
That's right.
I just got to talk college football, and it gets me excited in weird ways. And now we're about to try and make some money on baseball. So feeling good, man. How about yourself?
Let's do it, man. The baseball's going real well for me right now, so we're seeing it good. Should have made Detroit the gift yesterday with that plus 146, but we'll take that win with Seattle. And I mean, my numbers were all over Rodon getting rocked, so that was fun. We hit a couple other games, and but there's a lot I like today too. So I don't know if you want me to roll into this, Jimmy, or if you want to set up the game.
I will set it up, and then let's rock and roll. We're starting with a gift right off the hop. I apologize for yelling for those of you who are using headphones or those of you at work. All right, let's go. First off, let's talk about the weather. We are dealing with light rain and drizzle. Our Chicago guys, Troy and Saturated, could tell us how big of a deal it is. 9.4 miles per hour in, gets up to 11.3 miles per hour. Take a look at the ballpark factors here at Ballpark Pal. We are starting off with a gift from TJ. And the gift right now is hitting at a higher rate than anything we've ever had. The gift is 33 wins and 14 losses, hitting at 70.2%. This is over 2 years, plus 18.3 units, an ROI plus 36.1%, an average line of minus 105. So when TJ says he wants to come on, I say, it doesn't matter where you are. Find a warehouse somewhere. Let's get to work. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal's plan here. And Wrigley Field, minus 25% home runs, minus 11% doubles and triples, and minus 16% runs. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Move over to MLB. This will just take 1 second. Oh, shit. Sorry. Here we go. Line history for MLB, and I apologize that I wasn't already over there. We have the total. We'll start with the money line. This money line with Tyon and the Cubs is sitting at plus 101. This opened up at plus 102, so we're dealing with no movement. From a total scenario, we have it dropping to 7. Now, you can still get 7.5. This is bouncing around 7.5. So if you want the 7.5, you're going to pay some juice. At least minus 120. And if you want the 7, then the over is about minus 120 or more. So it's still available. We take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 59% of the tickets and 76% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. The market's not moving towards them. And totals wise, you have 66% of tickets on the over, but just 50% of the cash. Interesting. Let's quickly set the table here for TJ and then hear what Dabby Cab is doing with this spot. Wrigley Field, these Diamondbacks are 35 and 33 on the road. They've been good on the road all year. Cubs now 9 games over 500 at home. Zach Gallen, last 2 starts, 10 in the third innings. He's allowed 11 earned runs. His last start was an 8-5 loss at home versus the Orioles. They got after him immediately. So he's lost at home and on the road. On the road, he's not been very good this year, but now, you know, he's a very good pitcher, 3.48 ERA. He's the type of pitcher who could take advantage of this weather. But on the road, 4.81 ERA, 256 opponent's batting average. Then we have Jameson Taillon coming off a tough spot in Cincinnati. This is so much easier of a situation for him here with the wind blowing in at Wrigley compared to being at Great American Ballpark with the wind blowing out in the hot weather. He allowed 5 earned runs, 3 jacks over 5 2/3 at home. He's got a 5.86 ERA, and opponents are hitting 321 off him. Diamondbacks versus righties, 244, 729 since August 1st, while the Cubs are 254, 786. Diamondbacks bullpen, 4.85 ERA. Cubs, 4.11 ERA. Take it away for us. We are ready to receive the gift, TJ. Take it away.
I've had $1 for every time I heard we're ready to receive in my life. Yeah, so I feel bad with this one because the line's already moved quite a bit. The full game is not moving to Arizona, but if you look at the first 5 movement, I got in at 115, and that's the gift. Arizona first 5 will do 125 because I think that's the best price you can find now. With the odds boards I'm looking at, maybe Pinnacle might have something better, but Arizona first 5, and here's why. There's a couple narratives out there working in our favor. The first is something's wrong with Gallen. And yeah, 2 starts in a row, 11 earned runs. Not a huge fan of that, but I'm going to give him a pass against the Dodgers. They know him well. They hit him hard. So I'm going to take that game out and just focus on this last one versus Baltimore. 2.32 FIP, 3.26 xFIP in that game. Bad results, some bad luck. Before that, 1 run Texas, 1 run San Diego, 2 runs Minnesota, no run San Diego. I mean, Gallen's an elite right-handed pitcher. We know this. I can't think of a time in his career that he's had 3 bad starts in a row, at least over the last 2 years. So just like Castillo yesterday, I really dig in and look at those back-to-back bad start trends and how likely they are to happen again. The second narrative here is that the Cubs are just on fire. Yeah, they've been winning a lot of games. They're still 2 games behind Milwaukee in one of the worst divisions in baseball. They're hot and cold, the Cubs team, all year. You got to get on when they're hot. You got to jump off when you see signs of them getting cold. And I just don't think that they're going to be able to get to them. My numbers have a 3.1 to 1.2 first 5 innings score. And I think Gallen mows these guys down and has a nice quality start. So I'm in on the first 5. I'm not playing any full game with this. Worried a little bit about the rain, but either way, bullpens are kind of a wash. So first 5.
Arizona first 5, and I do feel like with the lower implied probability with this total going down to 7 at most, or 7 or 7.5, that it's important not to take the -0.5.
Yeah, I would not take -0.5 in a low scoring game like this. I just think 120, what's -0.5? Plus 110. So 30 cent difference, and you take the push out of it. It's not how I do business. You look at Tyon too. I mean, 26 runs in his last 26.1 innings. It's not like Arizona can't hit, and they have speed. So in a low-scoring game, wind blowing in, I want that speed on my side. Plus, they got rid of that. They sent down Ahmed, and they brought up, what's this kid's name? Luan or Luar? Anyway, I had it pulled up. He's their number 1 prospect, and so he was 1 for 4 yesterday, and he's in the lineup.
Yeah, got his first major league hit. I watched it. We legged out a single. He was there's a lot of excitement around him. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Let's hear what Dabby Cat and Prime VA got the 8. Nice job. Dom Play says, I'm back in the unders we like so far. Well, the only under I'm very close to betting now is that Notre Dame NC State Wolfpack under. Philly Eagle Flyer looking at first 2 innings draw at plus 146. Troy Torrance can't believe the first 5 innings draw is plus 420. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Mike M says books won't let me take the Cubs past -4. So so Mike M thinks that the Cubbies are going to smash again. And I'm going to go over the bad starts that Gallen's had this year because that seemed to work very well, giving me a ton of confidence on your gift yesterday with Castillo. Let's hear what Dabby Cab has to say about afternoon action. Arizona Diamondbacks, Chicago Cubs.
Look, man, I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm going to just say I agree with TJ on it too. Baseball is a game of, it's like a wave, like you kind of were saying. And, the Diamondbacks have plenty of momentum coming into this game too. Their wave is plenty high right now. They got the series win against the Rockies. They got the win against the Cubs. They've won 2 of their last 3 road series. And they've got Zach Gallen on the mound. Excuse me. Even with the fact that he's had the 2 bad starts, if you just dig a little deeper, he hasn't conceded, or he's conceded 2 or fewer runs in 4 of his last 6 outings. So it's baseball. That shit happens. You're gonna have a couple starts sometimes that don't go well. I think he'll make adjustments. And it's hard for me to think the Cubs with Jameson is on the mound is going to be something I would ever want to bet. He continues to just give up runs. 13 in his last 3 outings of only 17 and 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 5 home runs in his last 2 outings also. And, this is a Diamondbacks team that does have power throughout the lineup. Cubs have only won 2 of his last 5 starts also. So he's just not necessarily a winning pitcher. I agree with everything that was said. Diamondbacks first 5 is a good look.
Bellinger 1 for 17 with 7 strikeouts. I mean, nobody hits Gallen on this team.
Yeah, it's a good look. I like it. TJ says there's something specific taking you off the full game, or you just want to isolate Gallon first five. I'm sure that it's an isolate Gallon first five, but I'll let TJ answer that.
Yeah, it is. Plus, Seawald and Ginkel pitched last night. I like to look at the bullpen usage and who's available. I just think of the available arms, the Cubs have the edge today out of the pen, so I'll stay off that. And that's not to say they won't pitch 2 days in a row. It's typically a warning sign to me. I like to look at rolling 14-day bullpen stats too, and they're about a push. So
I have interest in the under as well here. Did you have any interest in that at all, TJ?
I like the under at 8. That's a good bet. I won't under 7. I got to have 2 good pitchers out there, and I don't trust Tyon. I get the winds blowing in. Wrigley's a special case, but honestly, I've been crushing sides this year, and totals I'm down on. So I really need to have a lot of indicators to get me on a total.
I love it. I love it. There is the gift from TJ, and TJ will be back with us. He has 2 more bets that he has moved on that he wants to share with us that aren't the gift. And by the way, that's minus 123 available right now at Pinnacle. Minus 123. TJ, thank you for rocking with us, and we'll bring you back here shortly.
Sounds good.
All right, we move on. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 54-86, 26-46 on the road at the Detroit Tigers 64-76, 29-40 at home at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Let's go to the weather first here at Comerica. 66 Fahrenheit, 5.6 miles per hour to right center. Dies down to 4.2 miles per hour. Then let's move over to Ballpark Pals expectations of Comerica minus 16% home runs, plus 3% doubles and triples, just plus 4% runs overall. Move over to the line history here for this one. Let me get back to full game. Money line. Here we go. Full game money line. We are sitting with Reese Olson and the Tigers at minus 139, 26 cents of movement, minus 139 from a total standpoint here. And again, these 2 pitchers just faced each other 5 days ago. The 8.5 has moved 6 cents to the over. So a small move to the over, a legit move to the Tigers. Cash wise here, 38% of the tickets and 75% of the cash is on that under. And from a money line standpoint, 75% of the tickets and 87% of the cash is on these Tigers. Clevenger coming off the start here against the Tigers where he got absolutely destroyed. They got 12 hits off him in 4 innings, about 8 earned runs. It was a surprising start for Clevenger. He's had a pretty good year, 3.90 ERA, 1.30 whip. On the road this year, he's been a little worse than he's been at home, 4.17 ERA, 245 points at batting average. Reese Olson dominated the White Sox in that start. And it was a sort of a coming of age start where he's not trying so hard to get these strikeouts anymore. He went 7 innings. Usually he has an issue with the amount of pitches he's throwing because he's going after strikeouts. And he only had 1 strikeout, but he only had 4 hits. At home, he struggled a little bit, 5.21 ERA. White Sox first righties, 255, 703 OPS, while the Tigers are 255, 739. So a little bit more power. White Sox bullpen's been bad, 5.63 ERA since August 1st, while the Tigers are 4.91. And I find it difficult to believe that the same thing is going to happen here again. Now, obviously, with the total at 8.5 and just a very slight move to the over, that they think Clevenger is going to have an okay start. But do I really sit back and think Reese Olson's just going to shove again? I just find that difficult. But I often overthink when pitchers face each other a second time in 5 days. Dabby Cab, take it away. White Sox Tigers. You're muted, my guy.
Fuck, I was doing well. All right, you did such a good job though talking about it. You know, it's a strange start kind of for Clevenger. You know, since he's been waived and then went unclaimed. So it's his first start since then. You know, and you said it. He gave up 12 hits in 4 innings and 8 runs against the Tigers. So it's just, do you think he rebounds or not? Basically, is the question in this game, in my opinion. I don't. I mean, I don't see any reason why I would think he would. It's, you know, he can't be in a good place right now. You know, and the White Sox has just been fucking just an awful team this year. I just, you know. Everything that they've done, the whole organization. I'm not a fan of this White Sox organization, like with what they've done. Management, down to the players, down to their fucking approach at the plate, everything about it. I would only bet Tigers here, but I've had a good baseball season, and I didn't do it by betting Tigers at minus 135 with fucking Reese Olson on the mound.
Yeah. TJ saying Tim Anderson is a cancer of the clubhouse. At least they fired Kenny Williams finally. And but yeah, I get it. This is not it's not an appealing start to the baseball Friday evening. Your weekend kind of relies on success here. So yeah, I'm should we push on?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
6:40 p.m. Eastern, Seattle Mariners 79-61, 40-32 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays 79-61, 40-32. Oh shit, I just copied and pasted the exact same record. My bad. Get that off. All right, George Kirby, Taj Bradley. George Kirby 10-9, 3.39 ERA, 1.05 WHIP. He's been good and consistent this year. He's coming off a bad start at the Mets, and now he has a consecutive road start down against the Rays, who are hitting 277, 802 OPS versus righties since August 1st. He is being worse on the road than he's been at home. 3.86 ERA, just 4-6 on the road. But his K to walk ratio is exceptional. 67 strikeouts, 7 walks. What up, Mark Schillingberg? Great to see you, my man. 280 opponent's batting average, though, is a surprise for Kirby. Mally Mal looking at the first 5 over here. Then we have Taj Bradley. We had a lot of people had high hopes for him this year, and he has not succeeded. At least he hasn't. Whatever. Let's not get into wander. But last start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 5 walks, 6-2 win at the Guardians. As with all these Bradley starts, there's some good. I mean, he's got electric stuff, but walking 5 batters is, it's going to really piss off the Rays. The Rays would rather have Zach Littell pitching because they know he doesn't walk batters. I mean, they care so much about free bases in that clubhouse. At home, he's got a 5.88 ERA, a 261 opponent's batting average. He's not being very good. Let's take a look at the line history here. And by the way, I mentioned the Rays smashing righties. The Mariners have been hitting with more power than the Rays against righties. Just a 265. Well, 265 average shouldn't be just. 265 average, but 824 OPS. Mariners bullpen 3.08 ERA since August 1st, while the Rays is at 3.87. Seattle, Tampa. We'll start here with the total in Seattle, Tampa. It's sitting at 8, very slightly juiced to the over, but this hadn't been. This dropped to 7.5, 17 minutes after it came out, then back up to 8, and then dropped to 7.5 again, and then back up to 8. So there's real legit interest in the under. From a money line standpoint here, we have a Kirby at minus 107. He opened up at minus 110, so a slight move towards the Tampa Bay Rays. And cash-wise, we have 32% of the tickets and 56% of cash on the Rays. And from a total perspective, 35% of tickets, and now it just changed, 36% of tickets and 64% cash on the under. Take it away for us here. What up, Belondo? Take it away for us here. Mariners, Rays, Dabby.
Yesterday's game, how fucking boring was that? Only 1 run the whole game. I guess, as a pitcher, I can appreciate it, but damn. Shout out to Mal in the chat. We were on the other side on something in college football earlier, but I got to agree with him here. He said first 5 over, Really, the only side that I'd worry is with the Rays. Kirby's had a good start against the Rays already this season. But, the Rays offense lately has been on fire. They're putting up 5.81 runs per game since August 1st. That's the 4th most over that stretch. They're 3rd in homers on the season, 2nd in steals. There's multiple things that you got to worry about with this Rays offense, So I guess I'd kind of lean Mariners as a side because, like I said, I think Kirby could have a better start. But you touched on a lot of what Bradley's done. He's at home where his ERA is 5.88 this season, just not good. The bullpen behind him solid, but he wasn't able to make it out of the 4th inning against Seattle earlier when he pitched against them last time. So and he gave up 5 runs. I think there could be runs on both sides, and the total's a little low for it. So I think the first 5 over is something that I might bet by the end of the show.
Jesus, Germany beat America? Fuck. God damn it. Had 10-1 on Canada for $200, 10-1, and they could have been playing Germany in the finals.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Fuck. God damn it. Joe Yurkovich talks about Kirby's 4 straight road start. That's really tough. That's really, really tough. God, I could use that fucking 2K option, man. Let's pull up. I would just like to pull up. I'm interested in the Rays in this spot here, and I know I don't want Taj Bradley, but I would just like to go over his last few home starts and kind of go over the difficulty of what Kirby's facing with the 4th straight road start. I mean, that's just so difficult. Why don't you touch on that? 4 straight road starts. How do you see that for Kirby?
I knew you were going to ask me that. It's hard to quantify, man. I mean, it just depends. Everybody's got a different mindset. I mean, it's not easy. Of course, you want to pitch at home where you're comfortable. That's definitely true. But at the same time, like, there's no way I would have been. You can't, as an athlete, you can't let thoughts like that creep into your head. There's no way I would have even thought about it. Like, I wouldn't even been like, oh, damn, I'm not getting to pitch at home. So I don't think it's a thought that crosses Kirby's mind by any means. But at the same time, yeah, it sucks. He hasn't been at home where he's most comfortable. He's throwing at different places. So that's why, I think the Rays team total maybe could be a good look. But I think the first 5 over, I think, especially after that snooze fest yesterday, I think we just see some runs here early in this game.
So is that an official spot for you?
Not yet, but I think I might get there.
Okay. Did you tweet out your MLB action?
Haven't tweeted anything out. I'm going to make my bets here.
Perfect. Right, so we can line shop for you if you want to move on. Okay. So Dabby has question marks around the first 5 over. I feel like I'm not going to sit here and hum and haw. Barry Smith looking at the Rays. TJ saying Tampa Bay is a 500 ball club since July 1st. Troy Torrance says this is a sharp trap profile with the Rays. Troy, are you going to move on this? Okay, I won't hum and haw here, but the Rays have piqued my interest here. Okay. Let's move on. TJ, when you come back on, I'd like you to touch on that Mariners-Rays spot. 6:40 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Cardinals 61-79, 30-39 on the road at the Cincinnati Reds, 73-69, 35-37 at home at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's move on to the weather here in Cincinnati. 78 Fahrenheit, 6.2 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 5.5 miles per hour. Then let's move right over to Ballpark Pal and see what their expectations of Great American Ballpark offensive as usual. Plus 33% home runs, plus 14% runs. This is the first time I remember a spot being as offensive, tied or more offensive than Great American Ballpark that's not Coors Field. And that ballpark is Nationals Park today. It's the same plus 14% runs. I don't remember that happening all season. But Great American Ballpark plus 33% home runs. And it's not doubles, triples, or singles. That's at 0%. It's just jacks. So let's get into the line history then next for this Cardinals red spot. Now, this one threw me for a loop. I could not believe where this line opened up. I was like, well, you got to be kidding me. I know some cappers who are like, look, I don't care what the markets want. I know Abbott's going to shut down Rom. Rom was part of the trade with the Orioles. A little more about Drew Rom. But I could not believe this line. This line just completely flabbergasted me. And so I, obviously didn't bet. But it was the first thing that jumped off the page to me was, God, that's just what the Reds are. And now we've had to move even more to the Cardinals. So in Norfolk, the AAA team for the Orioles, Rom was 7-6 in 18 starts, 19 games. He had a 5.34 ERA and a 1.70 WHIP. So he was part of the Flaherty trade. In Memphis, he's been excellent, and we see that often. We see guys struggling in AAA. He gets moved to a new organization, and he's just ready to rock. 2-0 with a a 0.82 year. So 2 starts, 11 innings, he allowed 1 earned run. But 18 strikeouts and 4 walks, and he immediately gets a chance with the Cards. That was the chances have not gone well. He's had 3 starts, 13 and 2/3. He's allowed 11 earned runs. He's at 11 strikeouts and 8 walks. I mean, just back to the reason why he was ditched in the first place. But this line is absolutely wild. Not only do you think when you see this line at minus 119 where it opens, you're like, oh my God, how could the Reds be that way? Now it had moved 9 cents when I was looking at it last night. This got up to minus 130. So, then it's 12 cents, minus 131. I mean, shouldn't it be at minus 145, 150? And then a huge market move back to the Cards. Right now, there's been a 3 or 4 cent market move to the Cards. I mean, this is just absolutely nuts. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Dutch, we did a big breakdown on your big college football show with Dabby Cab. We got more comments on that game than any game we probably ever had. Your show is going to pop off on Sunday, man. It's prime time is bringing the magic, and it's must-watch TV. It's bigger than Texas, Alabama. So this line is absolutely nuts. Makes no sense. Obviously, the books put out a line that makes you want to bet the Reds immediately. On the total side of things, 39% of the tickets, 71% cash on the under. And on the money line, 87% of the tickets and 94% of the cash are on the Reds. Can you hold your nose and bet the Cardinals? TJ said he bet the Cardinals at plus 120 right now, right when this show started. And this is absolutely crazy. Sharpie says he's been making good money on Abbott's under on his case. And yes, he had a good game last week, but more will be bad than good as he hit a wall and is tired. This is absolutely nuts. Drew Rom's last start, 3 earned runs over 4 2/3 and 7-6 loss at home versus Pirates. It was a little better than what he's done, in his other 2 starts. Yes, Andrew Abbott did have a nice start. 2-1 win at home versus the Cubs last out. He's been very good at home. 180 opponents batting average, 2.66 ERA. Neither team's hitting lefties. Cards 228, 684. Reds 227, 677. That's since August 1st. And both bullpens have been struggling. Cards 4.96, Reds 4.46 since August 1st. Take it away for us, Dabby Cab, Cardinals, Reds.
Such an interesting game, man. Yeah, I agree. I think the line should be closer to like 145 or 150. I mean, we got to say it one more time. When a pitcher gets to a certain amount of innings, like, you got to pay attention, like, to where they're at, because once that arm is dead, it's dead until that pitcher gets a break and then gets to revamp for the next season. There is nothing that they can do in the training room. There's no stretches. There's no bands. Doesn't matter what they do. When the arm's shot, the arm's shot. And some of these pitchers, their arms are shot at this point. So you got to pay attention for it. I personally haven't had my eyes on Abbott, so I don't know, like, if that's what it is or if he's just off right now. Because his start was outstanding, the start to the season. He's got plus stuff. And St. Louis is hot right now. They've won 5 of their last 7 games. They're still season is what they are here. And I think with Rom on the mound, I'm shocked the line's where it's at. Maybe I'm a sucker, but it makes me just kind of want to grab Cincinnati at home with Abbott on the mound.
Yeah, there's 0% chance of me when the books put out something like this, 90% of cash on the Reds, and TJ used to track these spots for me, and I was hitting at 70% last year on spots, or it might have been 2 years ago because I started betting them last year, but I still think it was last year. It's last year, 70%. So obviously this is a gambler's first glance spot.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, this is pros against Joes from a gambling perspective. You heard both Dabby and Sharpie talk about the innings limit and clear tired Abbott. This total has gone from 10.5 to 10, so they're saying that Rom's going to pitch well. And TJ says on August 1st, I saw a ton of reasons to fade Cincinnati. I decided to bet against them anytime they were favored. 9-7 in those bets. Joe Yurkovich, though, says the Cards all year long have been given too much respect. So there's this is a spot where I'm going to run away out here. I don't want anything. Joe Yurkovich says the Cards and Padres are the perfect gamblers tease. They are overvalued and they win enough to mess with your mind. Bet this guy is looking at the under 10.5. Okay, let's roll on. William, living good. Nice to see you, my man. Welcome back in action with us. Let's roll. But look at Mike M says Reds -2.5 makes sense to him. So, Dabby, do you want to buck the market here? Buck them down. All right. We'll move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Dodgers 85-54, 38-30 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 63-77, 30-41 at home. Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. We talked about the very offensive expectations for this spot. We'll start with the weather, though, first and foremost. There's our guy Kong's Clips saying, just wanted to give you an update. Just bonded my sister. I appreciate the support and motivation, brother. Kong's Clips, what you're doing and leading by example in your family and taking care of your family. And, it's you are inspiring us with how you're handling all that. And that's I know it cost you a lot and you had to dig deep to deliver it and good work, man. Respect. Let's go here. Weather-wise, 91 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour out to left center. Dies down to 4.1 miles per hour. Let's go over to the ballpark power, which I had discussed here. Crazy. Plus 13% home runs, plus 14% doubles and triples, and plus 14% runs. The only time all year that a ballpark not named Coors Field has been more offensive than Great American Ballpark. Let's go over to the line history here for this one. Sheehan versus Mackenzie Gore. We're sitting at 9.5, but Pinnacle moved it to 10. Pinnacle moved it to 10 20 minutes ago. And remember, this line was not a line that's been out for 18 hours. This line came out at 8 in the morning at Pinnacle. God, I think I need to bet this over right now. And there he is, Von Polo. My new baby boy, Nova, is here right now. Says, thanks for the love. Me and my wife love you and thank you. Congratulations, Von Polo. Oh, man, isn't that just so wonderful? Congratulations to your family. I love your family. We've seen them on camera. You're a great dad. Your wife is cool as ice. You lead by example. And congratulations, Von Polo. Got a son, Nova, and we look forward to watch him grow up, man. It's really, really, really exciting. You are adding to Charm City. Von Polo with a baby boy. Nova,
I said congratulations too, but I was muted. Congratulations, my guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. That's fucking dope, man. So wonderful for you and your wife and your family, man. Respect. That's so dope, man. So dope. Let's leave that up there for a bit. Let's not take that comment down for a bit. Okay, so I think that this over, should probably be bet right away. But the last time I did that was also a Nationals game. It was the Nationals Mets, and it was the highest over that I bet all year. And you know me, I'll bet 7 or 8% of my totals are overs. The rest 92% are unders, and it blew up in my face. And they opened with a double in the first batter, and I was like, oh, here it comes. It did not come. TJ says bets. Mookie left on crutches yesterday. That is a big part of this cap. And Mally Mal says them clowns never had a chance to score 12. Yes, Mally Mal, it was a very embarrassing bet. Oh, Mally I'm sorry if I got you there. If I had anything to do with pushing you in that direction, it's fucking awful. All right, so this opens up with LA Dodgers -161. They're now -145. 16-cent move to the Nats. And then from a total side of things, as I said, 9.5 to 10. Sorry, I already did that. And then let's get over to the cash flow here. The cash flow in this one is 90%, 87% of the tickets on the Dodgers. Lines move to the Nats. And from a total side of things, 86% of the tickets, 94% of cash on the over, and it just moved to 10. It finally moved to 10. That's strange. Oh, but it is another total that came out at 7:59 in the morning. Okay, so here we go. Emmett Sheehan has not looked very good. Well, his K to walk ratio is poor. There's been times he's looked very good, and he looked very good when the season started, but he's not looked nearly as good. But the last start was a little better. 4-2 extra inning loss at home versus the Braves. 4 innings, allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 6 Ks and 3 walks. On the road, he's been atrocious, but we're talking a 13 2/3 amount of innings. Sample size, I'm trying to say. Mackenzie Gore, 7-10, 4.28 ERA. In his last start, 5 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. 5-4 win at Toronto. At home, he's got a 3.46 ERA and a 2.55 opponent's batting average. The Dodgers are smashing lefties, 283, 861 OPS. Will that change without Mookie in the lineup? The Nats versus righties, 245, 699 OPS. Dodgers bullpen, 2.56 ERA, while the Nats is just 4.36. Sharpie. I love when I hear Sharpie talking Dodgers games. 50% chance of showers in this game, and the books are begging you to bet Gore's outs over 14.5 minus 125 when he's hit that in 75% of the games. So wild. I mean, it's just screaming over. Isn't it just screaming over at this point? Take it away. Oh, or do you think that is because of, is that, Sharpie, do you think that's based mostly on the fact that rain could interrupt it? Take it away, Dabby Cab. Oh, here he goes. One thing about my boy Sheehan is he pitched really well versus the Braves, and as long as Smith is catching him, catching Sheehan today, as he throws the most breaking balls ever, including his changeup. Mally Mal says, no Mookie, no problem. And Bruno says, Bombers are pissed off of that headbutt on Caleros. Bombers are 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against Braves. I love it, Bruno. NFL is the reason why I wouldn't already be on it. Take it away for us, Dabby Cab. This is an interesting one. Dodgers Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers rotation is not, they're figuring shit out with what's going on. I'm not going to really touch into that, but everybody knows what's up. But, I know they've struggled of late, but with Mookie going out on crutches, that's not good. But this Los Angeles team is deep, man. I mean, you got to understand they have a deep lineup. They still have the ability to put up runs against anybody. And I think at minus 148, I think a first 5 run line is something I might bet this. I've paid attention. Usually when the line's like anywhere from like minus 145 to like minus 160. When I take the run line in the first 5, my numbers are way better than whenever I take like a minus 210 or something like. I don't know what it is. It's just I pay attention to the numbers, and this seems to be one of those spots where if I take a first 5 run line, it works out for me. I might get there with the Dodgers. I just like I said, I want to roll everything over before I do it.
I want the over in this one. I want the over. And Saturated says, Dabby just listened to your breakdown on the Illini tonight. Brought a tear to my eye. Says, now who's our Chase Brown this year? Troy Torrance says, I'm finding some crazy numbers as it relates to line movement on totals in the NFL. Can't wait to unleash it next Tuesday. Troy Torrance opening up his season 4-0 plus 4.94 units. Sharpie says, the problem is, yes, the books say he's getting cracked, but I've been making money backing my lefties versus these Dodgers, as it's been good money, as I don't think that they were that solid versus lefties. And Mackenzie Gore must be a lefty. Balking Dead, 3:10 p.m., must-watch TV. Wow. Okay, well, God, I want to bet an over here. But I don't know why. But Pinnacle's the one book who's moved it, and I just lost on the Nationals in a similar spot on an over. God, I feel like this isn't over. I'm going to take some more time on it, but I'm leaning heavily towards the over, and great stuff from our guy, Sharpie. Let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, Miami Marlins 72-68, 32-36 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies 77-62, 41-26 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yuri Perez going up against Christopher Sanchez. Start with the weather in Philadelphia. We have 89 Fahrenheit, 8.3 miles per hour out to left center, down to 5.4 miles per hour. I do really believe, I mean, it's the only team I've got futures on for pennant and World Series. And I like it. And I like not being, I'm trying to cut down my futures action hard. It's a really difficult thing to do. I still haven't put in any in NFL, but I'm ready to unload, today. But my goodness, I just think this team is ready for playoff baseball. But do you like them right now? There is a chance that, or the Phillies, there is a chance with the Marlins here, if they could have a big series, that they could possibly put some fear into the Phillies. It's not impossible. Phillies sitting 15 games over 500 right now. This is a big series for these Miami Marlins. And this is very offensive weather. Plus 35% homers. Schwarber has hit 41 of them. Plus 3% doubles and triples and plus 12% runs. Let's get into the line history here for Yuri Perez and Sanchez. This total is sitting at 9. It's sitting at 9. There has been an 11-cent move to the over. So a move to the over. Let's take a look at the money line here for this one. We are sitting at minus 130, and it opened at minus 139. So we have a similar amount, 9-cent move to the over and a 9-cent move to the Marlins. Yuri Perez coming in off a road start. Now he's got consecutive road starts. He's been very good this year. We thought that he was hitting an inning limit type of situation, but he started, then he bounced back, and his last start wasn't very good though. He allowed 3 solo shots in that game against the Nationals. On the road, 4.25 ERA, but a 232 opponent's batting average, but he's allowed 8 home runs in 36 innings. Christopher Sanchez, I'm not sure whether to trust him or not. That 10-8 loss at home versus the Angels, he looked bad against a weak-hitting Angels squad, 4 2/3, 3 earned runs. And at home, he's worse than he's on the road. He's allowed 12 home runs in 54 innings. Maybe this is all screaming offense here. Marlins versus lefties, 245, 706. Phillies, 277, 883. And this Phillies bullpen's been good for a while. Joe Yerker says this smells like a TJ gift spot on Miami first 5. Let's hear. And Mikey M says the word of today's margin. Miami 1-19 straight up on the road. First game of the divisional series, losing by 4.65 runs per game over a 20-game sample. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. He says also Miami on 0-10 to the under trend, with the under catching almost 4 runs. Maybe Miami to score 0 runs. Wow. TJ leaning towards Philly and the under. Take it away, Dabby Cab. Marlins, Phillies.
I like Miami here. I'm not gonna lie, man. They're young. This team is young, so they've had a lot of frustrating ups and downs, but they still want to make the postseason here. They're in the last wild card spot. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, so they're hot when you want to look at that. Perez has been solid too. Lately only allowing 3 runs in his last 16 and 2/3 innings pitched. I know it was the 3 home runs last time, like you talked about, but that's 3 pitches. That doesn't really tell me how his whole start went. And as Chris Sanchez is, he's not somebody that that scares me too much. He's got a 4.88 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's got a below average ERA at home, 4.33. I think this is a spot where you get plus money with Perez, and I think you take it.
This is wild. I did not expect this. From Sharpie says Yuri Perez for starters found his breaking pitches again since then he's been on a mission. Back Yuri and don't put nothing into the back-to-back. And then Sharpie says, I'm telling you, the home road splits are bunk. He had no control of his breaking pitches when coming back. First game was on the road. He got cracked, and he got cracked on a back-to-back. Nah. And Mike M says this number screams Miami, so I get it. And these guys leaning towards the under in a very offensive situation. Wow. Okay. Well, there's enough for me that I don't find it correlate, so I'm going to stay off this spot. Do you want to move on to Tabby?
Like I said, I'm gonna when we recap, I'm gonna tell you what I've decided to bet.
And was there a lean here that you want me to write down?
Miami first 5. Yeah.
Let's first 5 for Dabby, and I'll just add the question. Hit me with the lean so we can go over them then again. Okay.
Miami first 5.
Oh yeah, I've gotten so far right. But I think so, right? You have Miami.
Oh, I was about to tell you the rest of them. I was like,
and Mariners, Tampa, first 5 over. Those are the 2 so far. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
No. Let's hit them when we get in. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the Milwaukee Brewers at New York Yankees. The Brewers 77, 62, 37, 34 on the road. The Yankees 70 and 70, 38 and 34 at home or in the Bronx. See the weather here in New York. We have, here we go. Light rain, 78 Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour, right to left, very slightly in. Then it becomes in, but it dies off down to 3.8 miles per hour. Light rain to get this started. And Yankee Stadium is still, with the humidity, plus 24% homers, plus 7% overall, minus 9% doubles and triples, which is interesting. Oh, good call. I might have to get on that first. Damn it. I hope that first five doesn't. Is that first five moving and moving? I should bet that. I forgot that game was starting in an hour and 2 minutes. Okay, back here we have Colin Ray. He was recalled from AAA Nashville to start that game on Saturday against the Phillies. And he went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs. There were solo shots, 6 Ks, no walks, and a 7-5 win at home. And it's just because of what's his name getting hurt. Sorry, I'm lacking sleep, so my memory's gone for me. Joe Yurkovich says Miami first 5 plus 116 is going to make his card. Shane Kim says, Cab, you a gangster, dog. So when you come to Cali, let him know. All right. Colin.
Definitely, man. I need to get to Cali soon, too, man. We got a bunch of low baggers that we need to get out there. So we got to make that happen. Jimmy went recently, but he didn't invite me, so.
Come on. It is dope though out there, man. And they got the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita. Everyone's gonna be out for that one. But
so I'm going to Vegas in November. When is that Breeders' Cup?
That's the first weekend of November, the Friday, Saturday. Everyone's gonna be out there for it. Like Sharpie.
Is it the 8th or is it like the 1st?
It's like the like the 1st. It's the I'll tell you exactly right now, very quickly here. Anybody wants to be out in Santa Anita, remember, the tickets will say $20, but it's just $25 to get in the infield, and the infield's where you want to be. It is Friday the 3rd, Saturday the 4th of November.
Gotcha.
Okay. So it was Adrian Hauser who was put on the injured list. So going up against Severino, a 5-4 win at the Astros in his last start, 4 runs over 4 innings. He looked much better in 2 starts before that. 36 2/3 at home, 4.91 ERA, 247 opponents batting average. The Brewers haven't been hitting righties since August 1st. Neither of the Yankees. 233, 680 for the Brewers, 207, 671 for the Yankees, but both bullpens have been very good. So here we go. The pimp slap play of the day is on Colin Ray and the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's take a look at the line history here for pimp slap. Wow, a big move. It's a big move, Pinnacle. Wow. The Brewers opened up at plus 113. They're now minus 101. They got up to minus 106. That was 19 cents of movement. We're dealing with 14 cents of movement. Wow. That is a lot of movement. From a total scenario here, we are sitting at a 9, minus 108 to the under, and that's where it opened. Wow, a huge move to the Brew Crew. The Action Network says that 55% of the tickets, 59% of the cash are on the Brewers, and 50% of the tickets and on the over. That was the 50% of tickets. Now 49% of tickets, 52% cash on the Brewers, and 55% tickets, 59% cash on the over. Take it away for us here. Dabra Kadabra, Brewers, Yankees.
You know I don't go against Pimp Slap. I think he's right on here. I know the Yankees have looked good in recent games. I know they want to win at home, but, the Brewers have looked good all season. I think this is a game that, I think the Brewers are going to drive in runs against Severino without a problem. I really do. And then you look at Colin Ray, like, I think he's good enough to get through, a few scoreless innings for him, have a decent enough start to where he's going to hand this game off to the bullpen. Which will be fine for the Brewers. I just, I know the Yankees, like I said, I know they've looked good recently, but Brewers, especially at this price, Brewers right here.
Is this official?
Again, put it down because I want to weigh them because anything that I give out, I'm going to actually put my own money on. So I just need a moment to stew with everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Brewers full game and question marks. We'll roll on. This is our last game before we have back-to-back TJ action. 7:07 p.m. Eastern, Kansas City Royals 44-97, 18-51 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays 77-63, 35-30 at home. Rogers Centre, Toronto, Ontario. These Blue Jays are not very good. They need Bo and Chapman out there healthy. We have Colin Snyder pitching as an opener and then Alec Marsh coming in as a primary, Colin Snyder, middling draft pick, 12th round draft pick. He's 27 years old, about to turn 28 years old. And he came out of the bullpen for years. He's the last time he was a starter was 2018 in single A. So he's going to be coming out of the bullpen here. He came out of the bullpen in Omaha, and he wasn't very good there. I mean, 5-1, but 5.91 ERA, 1.71 WHIP. With the Royals here, he's got a 4.22 ERA and a 1.5 or 1.60. Oh no, 1.59 WHIP. So, he's not very good. Not very good, and he's impossible. Well, he's not going to be there for very long. And then Alec Marsh comes in, 0-8, 6.23 ERA, 1.65 WHIP. His last appearance was an actual start, and he just got lit up and smoked by the Red Sox. 6 earned runs over 2 2/3. He's been bad on the road. Actually, been better on the road than he's been at home. But here we go. Let's go into the line history and the weather. Oh, it's not. It was raining this morning. I don't expect it to. Let me just quickly. I don't expect the roof to be open. Remember, when that roof is closed, that ball does not travel. And it's very, very important. And nope, this roof will be open tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night. So we have the roof opened. Let's take a look at the expectation here weather-wise in Toronto. 66 Fahrenheit and stays between 6.1 and 6.8 miles per hour. And Ballpark Pal has the Rogers Center plus 3% homers, plus 2% doubles and triples, plus 1% runs. Going to the line history for this one, the Jays are sitting at minus 238 at Pinnacle, so there's been a 9-cent move towards them. There had been a much bigger one. This was minus 250 at 9 in the morning. And I have a vividness bias because I've only gone to, Kikuchi's my daughter's favorite pitcher. We've been to 2 Kikuchi starts, and he's shoved and been spectacular both times. His last 2 starts have been bad. Do you consider him an elite pitcher like Zach Gallen, who's going to bounce back here? Because I don't. But my first thought was Jays minus 1.5 and outside, and I gave my head a shake. And maybe it still cashes, but fuck, do I want this sad sack Blue Jays lineup here to trust them? I don't. That's the answer. The Jays are hitting 232, 712 OPS versus righties since August 1st. The Royals are hitting lefties hard, 259, 754. At home, I've seen Kikuchi shove against the Phillies and against good squads, but can he do that here? We're at 143 and 2/3 innings. His last start was an 8-7 loss in the thin air. Colorado, he didn't pitch very well, but there's excuses there. And then, of course, the Jays have a huge bullpen advantage. So let's take a look at the cash flow then for this spot. We have, here we go, 90% of the tickets, 88% of cash on the under, and then 85% of tickets, but just 65% of the cash on the Jays. It's 15 and 35 for the Royals. Take it away, Dabby Cab here. We have TJ joining us next, but this one is Royals Blue Jays.
So when you say, can he bounce back and is he elite? He doesn't necessarily have to be elite to bounce back against the Royals. I know they've been scrappy late, but I still think they have the 28th worst offense in baseball, or 28th at runs per game. So he just has to be good, right? And this is the reason you thought Blue Jays run line is because the Blue Jays need to win this game. This is important. This is a big game for them. They've got their guy on the mound. They're at home, and they're going against the Royals and a pitching staff for the Royals that, we expect nothing of. So, again, with this being such a crucial series for the Blue Jays, anything other than 2 out of 3 games is just that won't work right now at this part of the time in the season. So you're kind of going off the fact that you think they just are going to win the game. Might as well win it by, 2 runs or more. I get it. I'm personally not making that bet. I just don't have success when people are this big of an underdog. Usually it's just not my type of game, but I get why you would think that. And, the Blue Jays, they had the day off on Thursday, so their bullpen is good to go. So if Kikuchi gets them 5 or 6, they're locked and loaded for the rest of the game. So I think this is a spot where the Blue Jays should dominate in a critical series against a Royals team that's not good.
Yeah. Mike M. Toronto are the most profitable under team on Fridays in Major League Baseball. And about the Gallen spot here from Sharpie says they did the same thing with Gallen last week. Put his outs at 16.5 when he's hit that 23 of 29 games. He got blasted by the O's when they did that last time. Book's saying he doesn't go 5 2/3. That's wild because it's it's such pitcher's weather out there today for the bounce back. Nate Cerner likes 9-2 Toronto game. And William Livingood says, what's your first 5 on the Arizona game? It's the gift from TJ. TJ's gift is the Diamondbacks' first 5. And again, the gift is hitting at 70.2%. 70.2%. All right, let's move on. Let's get TJ back in business. He's not connected right now, so let's get him back. But we'll start capping his next. Oh, here he is ready to deliver. Now the gift is in. It is the Diamondbacks, but this is the only baseball spot I've already bet, and this is the Baltimore Orioles at Boston Red Sox. TJ back in business with us. Thank you for rejoining us. And to get us rolling, Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is here, and it is these Baltimore Orioles. He got a minus 118. I bet it as soon as I could at Pinnacle at minus 109. We'll go over the line history, but first, let's give a shout out to our Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is these Baltimore Orioles. Johnny K liking the Red Sox. Ricky Bobby saying that he actually likes the Red Sox. I don't care what I like when the Orioles play. I guess I like money. I don't care what side I like. They've just been cashing. I've been betting them blindly, and we'll see if I should continue to do that. We'll have to hear what TJ thinks. Let me just set up a quick table for us. We will start with the weather here at Fenway. It is 82 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour to left field, stays between 9.3 and 7. So it's out to the green monster. We know when it's out. Oh, and let's get Jose, of course, back in business here with us as its Red Sox are in play. This is an interesting spot for you, Jose, because you've been making so much money off the Orioles, and now you will have to fade your hometown Red Sox here. So
Yep.
we'll see if that is part of Jose's plan. Plus 1%. For homers, but of course, whenever the wind's blowing out to the green monster, it's plus 18% doubles and triples, which then gives us a plus 11% runs situation. Over to the line history here for this one, we have the Red Sox opening up at plus 100 and now plus 105, so a 5-cent move to the Orioles. And from a total standpoint here, very quickly move over here. From a total standpoint, we're sitting at a 10.5. This opened up at 10. When it opened up at 10, it's gone up to 10.5 a few times and dropped, but now it's at 10.5, basically, minus 102, even money to the over. DC Capra, the club's plus 105. Gunnar Henderson, triple up spot for Rocco Rogers. So let me copy and paste that here. And let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. 71% of the tickets, 66% of cash on the Orioles. On the total side of things, 38% of tickets, 48% of cash on the under. Bradish coming off a nice start at Arizona, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 3 walks. He's been great this year, 3.03 ERA, 1.11 whip. On the road, he's been strong, 236 opponents batting average, allowed just 7 jacks over 80 innings with an 84-23 K to walk ratio. And Tanner Houck coming off a nice start. Oh, no, that is my I've copied and pasted Bradish's start. Sorry, lack of sleep. Jose will tell us about Tanner Houck's last start. At home, 59 2/3, 4-3, 2.26 ERA. He's been great at home and terrible on the road. Orioles versus righties, 283, 783 OPS. Red Sox versus righties, 264, 780. Orioles bullpen, 2.92 ERA, and Red Sox bullpen, 5.80 ERA. Let's start with TJ. He's moving on this one. TJ, what is the move?
Yeah, we're going to add this as a gift. It's going to be Baltimore money line. We're all lined up here, so that could be a bad thing. But Bradish, I've backed him in 4 of his last 5 starts and won every time I've backed him. He's just so consistent. I see 1 bad start against Philly since June. Other than that, it's like 2, 0, 0, 1, 2 earned runs. Just so consistent, solid. But the biggest part of my cap on this is Houck. He has a 44% hard hit percentage against, which is pretty high. But then you got to factor in, Henderson has a 59%, O'Hearn 53, Mountcastle 45, Santander 45, and several others on the rise this month or since August 1st. And if you have a pitcher allowing that much hard contact versus a team with 5 or 6 batters hitting the ball hard, I mean, they're going to barrel up a couple times and go yard. I look at the last 30 days for pitchers, for starters, and Bradish got a 2.27 ERA, 3.15 xFIP, 3.4 Sierra. Houck has 5.14 ERA, 4.92 xFIP, 4.67 Sierra. The bullpen for Baltimore, the advantage is big. Cano and Columbia haven't pitched since Monday and Tuesday, respectively, and they're allowing 3.2 runs per 9 less than Boston right now. I just put this at about a -135. So I am on Baltimore. We'll make that gift number 2. I'm also on Baltimore to win the series, which is plus 100 still. I think they have a pitching advantage in 2 out of the 3 games.
That's shocking.
Yeah, plus 100 Baltimore, and it's widely available. I hit it at 3 or 4 places. It didn't move, which isn't always a good sign. But yeah, if you're into series bets, I do those a lot, and I like Baltimore there. But we'll do gift number 2, Baltimore money line tonight. I think they should win this one.
-114 right now over at Pinnacle, and this got up to -127 at 9:06 a.m. So there's been some buyback. Jose, what do you think of the gift? Are you already on it as well? Because I'm already on it. What's your plan here? Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, it's one of the many bets I have on the card today. I'm on the Orioles. Kyle Bradish has faced the Red Sox this year. It was like his second or third start, and he got crushed. 2 1/3, 7 earned runs. So I think he'll be motivated to come back and pitch well here. And Tanner has been fine since he came back from getting crushed in the face. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs against the Royals, and then 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run against the Dodgers. He also has faced the Orioles twice. Both times he's given up 4 runs and then 3 runs. So I'm on the Orioles. It's not much capping to it at this point. It's kind of an easy wake up and you bet the Orioles. So.
Did you tweet it out?
Yeah, -116 is what I got.
-116. Jose, stick around with us. Let's hear what Dabby Cab is doing with Orioles Red Sox.
Just more echoing of what you guys said, and I'm not gonna bet it along with you guys, but this is one thing I would say about Tanner since he's been back from the facial fracture that Jose was alluding to is he has hit 3 batters in his last outing and walked 5 combined batters in his other 2 starts. So he's just been a little bit too wild and given a little bit too many free passes out. And like he said, the Orioles have seen him twice this season. Both of them were back in April. They put up 7 runs and 12 hits through 10 combined innings. I think this is, everybody said it. I think this is just an Orioles spot. Bradish has been reliable. He hasn't worn down through these, summer days, 2.12 ERA in August with 5 starts. Orioles. I get it.
Is this an official spot or you want to add this to the?
No, don't even add it. I'll choose out of the ones I got. I think I know what I'm doing today. I'm just going to wait because I said I was going to wait.
I'm really using imagery today in this one. I just bet now Sharpie's stats and the expectation of the K's on Gallon made me nervous, but I just bet the first 5 and it cost me -125, but I sent it in. Gallon first 5 is in, so I have 2 bets now that have been sent in.
Another thing on this game real quick is Bradish is a reverse splits pitcher when it comes to K rate and ISO. So you got to be concerned about against lefties anytime you're a right-handed pitcher in Boston. Obviously, their lefties do damage, but I like what he does, particularly versus lefties, keeping them in the yard and keeping them off the bases. So that's just one more kind of icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, it's that is a. I feel really good about the spot, but the buyback's a little concerning. What were you going to say, Jose?
Are you betting the Cubs?
No.
I'm on Cubs full game and TJ's first 5 because we talked about yesterday that we were going to bet the Cubs every day, and I am, in fact, betting the Cubs every day starting today. I was glad they took the loss yesterday. Unfortunately for you guys on them yesterday, so I can jump on a fresh winning streak, hopefully. But,
so you're on Diamondbacks first 5, Cubs full game?
Yes.
Wow, playing God, are we?
I'm playing God. Yes, I am playing God. Oh, and by the way, for those who care as well, I have tripled up on the Oakland A's today, and I have doubled up on the St. Louis Cardinals as well. Jimmy, you talked about them. That was the easiest spot for me of the day. The weird line movement, the weird line to begin with. It's moving towards the Cardinals. All the money's on the Reds. Just easy bets for me there.
Wow. Big dangling balls from our Jose Bouquet. Jose, so you are tripling up on the A's here. Sorry, let me just move over. That is fascinating. So why don't we stick around? Why don't you stick around for these next two breakdowns then, Jose? I know we've gone long, but why don't you stick around for Pirates Braves, because TJ has a spot on it, and then we can hear your hatred. You're spewing hatred for the Rangers, because it does bring joy to me, especially when Dabby hears it. So,
yeah, well, just by the way,
I'm not a Rangers fan. Jose's the one who started that. I don't give a fuck if the Rangers win or lose one bit.
That is the biggest lie he's ever told.
It's not true. When they win, it's kind of cool because I can go to the games, and like when there's good games, I like the atmosphere. I don't give two shits about the Rangers.
Rangers to not make the playoffs minus 110 now. Whatever.
Wow. And you got a plus 300?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
I thought you were crazy when you made that bet.
I love it. I love that. That's going to take care of business. Yeah, hopefully they only win like 5 or 6 more games, and I can catch their season win total under. Pittsburgh Pirates, 65-75 next up for us. 31-38 on the road to the Atlanta Braves, 91-48, 45-24 at home. We're at Truist Park in hot Atlanta. Let's take a look at the line history here to get started. The weather, 81 Fahrenheit, 4.3 miles per hour out to left field. Then let's move on to Ballpark Pals expectations here of Truist Park, and it's just even on homers, minus 1% on doubles and triples, and plus 2% overall. Then let's move into the line history very quickly here. We have Elder versus Keller. Minus 198 is the Braves. So there's been a 4-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates and Mitch Keller. And then move over to the total for this one, and it's sitting at 9.5 at a pick'em, and that's exactly where it opened. So we have a very slight move towards Pittsburgh, and then no real movement on the total. So then let's take a look at the cash flow here. 67% of the tickets and 91% of the cash is on the over. It's not moving. 82% of the tickets and 87% of cash is on the Braves. It's not moving. Let's hear what TJ has to say about this spot. But first, Mitch Keller coming off a really strong start at the Cardinals. He's pitching very well this year. 11-8, 3.93 ERA, 169 and 2/3. Could you put up our picture, Jose, of Helen Mitch Keller in all of her glory? On the road, 87 and 2/3, 4.62 ERA, 262. Look at her. Look at her.
Beautiful.
Good God. Good God. I hope Reclaim James is not around when he sees that. Good God. This guy is just going to want to eat up. Bryce Elder, 11-4, 3.42 ERA, 1.22 whip, 15 jacks he's allowed. But he's coming off a really nice start, an extra inning win at the Dodgers. At home, he's got a 3.02 ERA, 232 opponent's batting average. Ronnie and Berger calling him Miss Pittsburgh. I hear that, Ronnie. Pirates versus righties, 233, 726 OPS, and the Braves, 287, 783 OPS. You know, it's interesting that the Braves are doing that for all of us, because that's not a lot of power with a 287 average. You would think if you're hitting 280 something, this is since August 1st, that your OPS would be way over 800. Pirates bullpen 3.83 ERA since August 1st. Braves 3.08. Take it away for us here, TJ. Your third look on the card, Pirates Braves.
Yeah, so earlier about the middle of the season, I started to say in the chat all the time, hey, get off Mitch Keller. You can't take his first few starts and assume it's going to continue that way. And he regressed back to what we expected. But the roller coaster that is the MLB season and summer, getting into fall here, Keller's starting to pitch again. And if I take the jerseys off these teams, all the data has me on the Pirates first half at the price. Obviously Atlanta should be favored. But Elder's got a 5.29 xFIP in his last 30, 5.74 Sierra, which is pretty bad. And Mitch Keller is below 4 on both of those. Elder got rocked by Pittsburgh just less than a month ago. And so I like Pittsburgh first 5. Now it's come down a lot since I bet it this morning. You really got to get on these bets early, guys. I wish we did this show at like 8 in the morning Eastern. But I don't think anybody would be watching. It was 175. I think it's in the 155 range. It's still good for me down to 145. So I took Pittsburgh first 5, and I took Pittsburgh first 5 plus a half, kind of just a half unit bet for me at plus 124. I just think there's a chance here Braves come out a little bit slow. They'll probably win the game, but give me a first 5, Pittsburgh.
So what is it that you got here on these? So Pirates first 5, you got what?
Plus 124, but that's gone. I think it's like even money now.
And you got plus
175 on Pittsburgh first 5 money line.
Sweet. Beautiful. Beautiful. Jose, what do you think about this spot with our Helen Mitch Keller on the bump?
Yeah, TJ said he's pitching well. Sorry, she's pitching well. And I think I'm right there with you. I haven't made the bet yet, but I've talked about it. I think earlier this week. I think the Braves and Dodgers can be faded for these next couple of weeks. They have nothing to play for. They don't give a fuck. They've basically locked up their divisions. So I think at certain prices with certain pitchers on the bump, I think the Braves and Dodgers both can be faded. We tried it yesterday with Shaheen, and he tried to go, or who was it yesterday? It was Pepio, who threw almost a fucking perfect game. That happens. But we cashed the last 2 days with the Dodgers. We cashed with the Cardinals plus 1.5 against the Braves. I wouldn't hate it at all here again. Just think the Braves can be faded here for the next couple of weeks because again they know they had a great regular season last year and they were the bee's knees the whole fucking year, and then the Philadelphia Phillies came in and beat them in round 1. So I think that they're just going to be completely focused in the playoffs. So I think they can be faded. I'm not betting against them here today, but I probably should be.
What do you think about this spot, Dabby Cab, Keller, Elder, Pirates, Braves?
Well, first thing I got to say, I almost lost a game to Bryce Elder last night, but I got a hit with 2 outs and 2 strikes, a double off the wall, and then I got a single the next hitter. I tied it. Then I won an extra innings, but I almost lost a game of the show to Elder last night, but I didn't do it. Anybody in the chat who wants to play me for 50 or $100 when this show is over, let me know because I'll give you the smoke right now, okay? So let's get that shit going, all right?
Okay. All right.
Other than that, I've said it all year, and I hear what you just said about, they've already locked it in. Nobody goes out to the field with that mentality, though. They're not going out there, not trying to win this game. They've won 6 of their last 9 games still. They've scored 15 runs in their last 3 games. I think they're going to play well offensively here. Miss Helen Keller has not, 0-2 and 4 starts against the Braves. He didn't pitch well in those games. He gave up 21 runs in those 4 starts. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to have a hard time slowing him down in this game. It's going to be the same story it always is. I guess the Pirates, they have won lately, but still, Braves are pass.
I'm interested in – I feel like I'm late to the party, and that's dangerous here. Arnillo says he'll play anyone in Madden. Arnillo, Troy was a professional Madden player. So you got to watch with –
the show that right now. The show right now. Somebody put up the money and let's go.
Troy will probably go, but he was a professional Madden player. This isn't the right group to drop some of those things on here.
I don't want another ping pong incident with Troy and Madden, Dabby. That'd be ugly business there.
I didn't say I'm good at Madden, and I didn't. The show and Madden aren't the same thing.
No, I know. We know.
We're just saying.
It's all good. We know. We got you. Anybody
it's
wants
funny
to
how
rock,
the video hasn't come out of the only game we actually played.
We want Dabby will take money for the show, and Troy will take money for Madden. Pirates Braves. TJ got in early. First 5 plus 175 on the Pirates, and first 5 plus a half or plus 124. At those numbers right now, that's a very appealing spot. What it is now, it's obviously less appealing. Let's review TJ's action. He's given us 2 gifts. He's given us the Baltimore Orioles. He's also on the series. He's given us the Baltimore Orioles money line, and he's given us the Diamondbacks' first 5, and I tailed that. Troy says I haven't played Madden in 4 years. I get it for free every year. Give me 1 day in the lab, and I'll beat 99% of the world. That's what he says. Those are the guys we run with. TJ, thank you for making the time for us today, my man. So great to have you back in action with us. Please follow TJ on Twitter. He's a great capper and a great friend of the show. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle in here right now into the chat, and please give him a follow. And
yeah, I don't do much Twitter posting anymore, but I do follow guys on there and look at it a lot for info. DM me, though. Happy to chat, happy to talk MLB betting strategy. I do a lot of buying back and playing with exchanges. And if you ever want to learn any of that stuff, hit me up because we don't talk about it on the show.
Yeah, no, we don't do that enough. You're absolutely right. But you can help change that here, TJ. We want more of you on the show. Thank you for making the time for us, my man. Let's get those gifts cashed. The first gift pops off in 31 minutes. Let's get it. TJ, my man, any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
No, let's just keep winning and get that money from the books.
There he is, our guy, TJ. Jose, you are bullish on these Oakland Athletics, and we want to discuss it. Oakland Athletics at Texas Rangers, Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. These Rangers now just 14 games over 500 at home, and they're slipping. Let's take a look. First off, we know that we can imagine what the weather is like in Texas, and it's feels like 105. Roof will be closed. Let's go into the line history here for this one. The Rangers are sitting at minus 236. They open up minus 228, so 8 cents of movement towards them. Let's then move over into the total of this spot. Texas Rangers spot here, and the 9 at some books, never at Pinnacle because they started this at 8:04 in the morning, but it was 9 last night, is 8.5, and even the 8.5, though, has taken 6 cents of movement towards the over. So we've had a small move to the over at 8.5. And a small move to the Texas Rangers. We get into the cash flow here. You have 88% of tickets and 84% of cash on the Rangers. And you have 39% of tickets and 54% cash on the under. Paul Blackburn, very nice in his last start. 2-1 win at home over the Angels. He went 5 innings, allowed just 1 earned run. He's been strong on the road this year. 4.10 ERA, but he's allowed just 3 home runs in 41 2/3, despite opponents hitting 321 off of him. Montgomery, 3.4, but not a ton of barrels and some bad luck. 3.46 ERA for Montgomery. He's coming off back-to-back starts against the Twins where they got to him in both starts. At home doesn't matter, right? Because he wasn't there all year, so let's cut those. A's versus lefties since August 1st, 223, 652 OPS. Rangers versus righties, 245, 759. A's bullpen, 4.83 ERA since August 1st, and the bullpen for the Rangers has been blown goats all season. Jose, talk to us. Is your fate of the Rangers here based on numbers or hatred?
I don't hate the Rangers. I was right. This team fucking sucks. And I got shit all over it for fucking months. Oh, this guy hates the Rangers. This guy's such a homer.
No. You missed your bets at that point in time. But baseball is a wave like this. All that matters is what you win and lose. You were just wrong at that point in time.
And I'm going to be right. Here it is again. The Rangers bullpen is atrocious. As we've said the entire season, they signed or traded for Aroldis Chapman, who objectively loves blowing baseball games. He loves blowing baseball games so much against the Houston Astros. He can't not walk off the field smiling when he blows those games. He just laughs about it the whole time. He's horrific. This bullpen's horrible. And now their starting pitching is falling apart. As, again, told by us, I said eventually Nathan Eovaldi will get hurt, and he got hurt. That's what he does. Love the guy. Great pitcher when he's healthy, but the guy falls apart every fucking year like clockwork. John Gray having a career year. Sure, keep doing that. I don't believe in you. Dane Dunning, another guy having a career year. None of these guys were going to be able to keep this up. And now we've got Jordan Montgomery on the bump, who I actually respect. He's a pretty decent quality pitcher. And his last 2 appearances, he has got shit on because guess what? The Rangers are not that great with pitchers. That's what they do. Greg Maddox's brother ain't shit. And now we've got Paul Blackburn on the bump. Paulie Punchout's the king of first 5 innings. Give me the fucking Oakland A's first 5 money line plus a half, and I've taken them full game plus 1.5 too. Because guess what? Maybe I am pussy. Maybe I won't quadruple up and take money line there, but I'm still going to challenge the Rangers to go a complete game without blowing this shit. Because even if Montgomery goes out there, pitches well, he'll throw what? 6 innings? I'll take my chances with those 3 innings of Rangers bullpen and that garbage they feature. So I understand the Oakland A's are bad, but guess what? They're not the worst team in baseball anymore. So I believe in the Oakland A's here, and I believe in Paulie Punchout. So first 5 money line plus a half and full game plus 1.5.
And if you haven't bet them yet, you are getting pretty nice numbers here.
I have bet them all. Don't worry. I tweeted them out already as well. So I got pretty decent numbers on all of them, actually, which is nice. Money line, first 5 plus 170, first 5 plus a half plus 115, full game plus 1.5 at plus 103 for me. All official. I've already bet them all. They're going to keep falling. They're just going to keep falling. I'm going to keep sitting there pointing and laughing at the Rangers because their bullpen is atrocious. Their hitting has fallen off. And guess what? Someone put Adolis Garcia's 5 for 5 against Paul Blackburn. I don't give a fuck because that guy's on the IL. So who cares about that fucking guy? Rangers lose here.
I love it, man. The thunder.
So
Donkey Fingers Bouquet. What do you think, Kev?
What I know is what Jose won't tell you. So he'll use his voice and everything, but what he won't tell you is that he's parroting what I've said all season about John Gray not really being able to keep up these numbers, Dane Dunning and other people, and anybody who's paid attention. I've bet first 5 overs with the Rangers, not on the Rangers. I've been fading the Rangers pitching. That's been the whole MO the whole season. Part of the reason why my record is where it is on the season total. Now, I will say this too. Also, Texas is 52.5% on the run line winning percentage at home as a favorite. That's 3rd best in the big leagues. So that's a spot where they've been good. Okay,
52%.
3rd best in the big leagues. They're 23 and 16 on the run line against division opponents. Also,
a little over half. I'll fucking roll my chances at fucking plus money every single time.
I know you will, and we'll see how that works out for you. Anyways, listen, I'm glad you've gotten back, but I just feel like we've been here so many fucking times this season, and we're right back in the same goddamn spot. And you go fucking throw 15 bets down on I hope the A's win for you, bro. I do, because I'm not betting on the Rangers. But every time we get 1 unit away from being positive, where you can wake up in the fucking black, you go throw your load on the fucking Royals and the A's every time. And I'm always right here with you when you do it.
And I'm going to cash all these bets. I'm cashing my
Rangers
Cardinals
team total over. That's one thing I will say. I think the Rangers, I don't think this is, I think this is a good spot for the Rangers. Simply like they're not out yet. You know, they're still only 3 games back, even after getting swept so like, regardless of if like we as a viewer think they're out, like they know and they're not out yet. It's baseball. There's still plenty left to happen. Only 3 games back. So it's the A's, bro. And Blackburn's not that good. He gives people first 5 wins last year and a couple this year, and that's cool, but he's not really that good.
And I'll give you market analysis too if you guys want this. Shockingly enough, everyone's on the Rangers. Shocking. Everyone wants to fade the Oakland A's. 88% of the bets, 82% of the money on the Rangers. And guess what?
I hope you win, man.
This line has moved towards our Oakland A's here. Yet again.
I've rooted for you all season. Even after you fucking didn't say thank you one time for watching the show or doing the show for you, not once, I still root for you.
Well, if you were there every day, I would have said thank you.
Well, you know what? I didn't know that there was a show Monday, and Jimmy knows this, but you might not know. Do you know what I was doing Sunday, Jose?
No. Losing, I don't know.
No, I was at the hospital all day because my grandmother collapsed and went to the hospital.
Well, it's great. Thank you for letting us know. I hope your grandma's okay, but if you just say something on Twitter, it'd all been all right.
I didn't know that there was a show Monday. I thought you were back. You asked me to cover the show for a week. A week is Monday to Friday. You didn't say a week in one day.
I'm very certain I said Monday. It's okay though.
You did not say the words Monday. You put a date in there and expect me to look at dates.
Okay,
Yes.
we can have this fight on our own private time, but I do love the passion you guys have when you gamble together. And Ronnie and Bergia says, as a A's fan, I love this. Says he can't tell you though, so he loves it but can't tell. You know what? We all love when you guys cap together. So let's just leave it at that and move on. Jose, triple up on the A's. First 5 plus 170. First 5 plus half plus 115. Full game plus 1/2 at plus 103. Let's roll on. And we have the New York Mets at Minnesota Twins here. Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I can't wait to hear Dabby's breakdown of Dallas Keuchel, because for whatever reason, these Keuchel starts have been happening, the home starts that he's been shoving on Saturdays and Sundays and early Monday, and I haven't been capping them because his last 3 home starts, he's been excellent. When I see the words Dallas Keuchel written, I immediately set up a bet to fade him. And then I look and see, oh my God, 3 straight starts at Target. He's been excellent. Let's break this one down. Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. These Twins 40 and 29 at home now. 11 games over 500 at home. 6 games over 500 on the year. Not the embarrassment that they had been for a first place squad. Let's look at the weather in Minnesota. 75 Fahrenheit, 3.8 miles per hour out to left. And stays around 3.8 to 4.1. Not a big deal here. Let's move over to the ballpark pal and see the situation that we are dealing with here. At Target Field, we have not offensive, minus 20% home runs, minus 5% doubles and triples, and minus 9% runs. Let's move over to the line history then for this Twins spot. And unfortunately, I got the first 5 up. So let's move over to the full game money line. And we have Keuchel at minus 101. Dallas Keuchel. He opened up at plus 108. They've moved 9 cents towards Dallas Keuchel, who was looking for a job very, very recently, and nobody wanted him except these Twins. This is what, his 3rd team this season? This total opened up at 9. It was heavily juiced to the under. Pinnacle opened up at 8.5, heavily juiced to the over. And there's been a 6-cent move to the under. 6 cents of movement to the under. Now let's move over to the cash flow for Mets Twins. We have 73% of the tickets, 76% of the cash on the under. I apologize for the fire alarm going off here.
Oh, dude, I thought it was mine, and I was like, oh, shit.
There's a fire alarm here. I don't hear panic, and I don't smell smoke.
It deadass sounds like it's coming from behind me.
38% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Mets. Okay, it's off. 38 and 66 on the Mets here, which makes a ton of sense to me. 73% tickets, 76% cash on the Twins. Now the market's moving towards the Twins. The Keuchel's been good at home. What the hell do you do with Dallas Keuchel? Kodai Senga coming off a great start, 2-1 win at home versus the Mariners. That was a gambler's first glance spot for Razor. On the road, he's got a 3.82 ERA and a 239 points batting average, 70 Ks, 30 walks on the road. Not very good for him. And then Mets versus lefties, 262, 790 OPS since August 1st. They've been hitting them. Mets versus righties, 246, 780. Mets bullpen's been bad. Twins bullpen's been bad, but not quite as bad. Take it away here. Take it away here for us, Debbie. Got Mets Twins.
I'm the same as you. Like, I'm either fading Keuchel or I'm not betting it. Shout out to anybody that's been able to cash, because like you said, he's been pitching well at home. But I just can't get there, and the Mets have done a good job against left-handed pitching in the last 10 days, 272 batting average as a team, 128 runs created plus. That's in 95 plate appearances. And like I said, I don't trust Keuchel, even with his strong home record. You look at what the Twins have done, 247 batting average, 121 runs created plus in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. And that's 288 plate appearances. So that's a large sample size. They've never seen Senga before either. So that's always a problem. First time seeing a pitcher. I would go with Mets as the small favorite, even knowing everything about the Mets in this season and everything taken into account. I would bet the Mets, maybe in the first 5. I'm not doing it though.
I would too, and I'm not doing it either. Keuchel's, and I've made money off Keuchel this year, so let's just move on. Keuchel, what he's doing at home, I've been very fortunate that those games have landed on days where I haven't been capping the entire card. Very fortunate because I would have lost on those bets. So let's just move on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Next up, San Diego Padres 66-75, 27-39 on the road at the Houston Astros 80-61, 35-34 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The roof will be closed. We don't need to worry about that. We do need to worry about LJ from H-Town. He is on the Astros team total over 4.5. He's doing that no matter who the lefty is on the board. Cash it Fridays from LJ from H-Town. No concern that this is the NL side candidate, Blake Snell. No concern. None whatsoever. No concern.
Pub Sports Radio's the crew, that's a fact. We all about bread, making bank accounts fat. Who the hell is that? LJ from the H, I stack green like Boston. Shout out to Nasty Nate from down south, where we ride on slabs. 420 highway smoking with that boy Dabby Cab. Swing by Dallas with them Cowboy fans so we can smoke out J Money, cause you know that's our mans. Us against the bookies, put money in our pockets. Fly out to Vegas, meet up with Ski Profit. Hit the sports books, we got money to stack. Can't forget them college picks with that boy Connor Mack.
The Astros opening up at -119. They're now -134. 15 cents of movement towards the Houston Astros. When we get over to the total in this one, we are sitting at an 8.5. It is 8.5 -107. It was -107 when it opened. Now it's at -108. So we've had no movement at all on that one. Let's get into the cash flow for this Astros spot. On the total, 60% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on the over. It's not moving. And then from a money line perspective here, we have 38% of tickets and 54% of cash on the Padres. It's interesting. Blake Snell has just been so good. Now he's coming off a really easy opponent in the San Francisco Giants at home. He went 6 innings and still walked 4 batters, but didn't allow a run. On the road, he's been lights out this year. 72 2/3, 2.23 ERA, 189 opponent's batting average. Hunter Brown, it feels like he's hit a wall. Doesn't it feel like he's hit a wall? Coming off a 5-4 loss at home versus the Yankees, he didn't get through. He made it through 4 innings, didn't get an out in the 5th. He's got a 5.56 ERA at home. Obviously that would lead me towards backing the Padres, but then not everything correlates when you see the Astros hitting 323 with a 997 OPS versus lefties. Padres versus righties is 239, 711. Astros bullpen 3.03 ERA as well. Bregman RBI plus 185, Tucker RBI plus 160. Houston first 5 full games. Snell 0-14 spot. Expects him to get worked tonight. Wow. Also, Carlos Slam-Tana is the RBI play of the day, the ribeye play of the day. Wow. When not everything correlates, I should just, slowly back away from the bet. What are you going to do here, Cabby? Take it away.
We're almost to the end, so I can go ahead and say one of the ones I'm going to get there with. I'm going to take the Padres in the first 5 here. Look, I know that they've struggled to back Snell. They've struggled to back anyone, with his 12-9 record, but, a 2.5 ERA, and his strikeout rate is absolutely just phenomenal. One of the best in baseball. He's got back-to-back shutouts coming into this on his last 2 appearances. That's spanning over 13 innings. And I know, so I've heard some people say, sometimes, especially with the pitcher to bounce back, that the third one's always one of the hardest starts, to have a third good, consistent start. But I think he's hitting form right here. And as bad as the Padres offense has been, as bad as they are, especially after being expected to be one of baseball's best offenses, they still put up 4.6 runs per game. It's just the fact that they only hit 237 as a team. But I think that, there's enough there for me to still, even at this point in the season, see plus money with Blake Snell, and I gotta have some kind of bet on it.
I understand. Their full game is plus 124. First 5 plus 108. That's available right now at Pinnacle. That's the best line available. So that is official. Is that right?
Yeah.
Plus 108 for Dabby Cab on the Padres. Cab, let's move on to the next spot on the board. That's going to be a stay off spot for me. I just can't. I don't feel comfortable with it. It just doesn't correlate enough for me. Let's go to 9:38 p.m. Eastern. I was gutted last night, and we have the big win in football, and then I was just Class A, his 10th blown save of the year. He throws 100, but he can't locate his off-speed pitches, so it's a perfect situation for the opposition. They just wait on the fastball, and I know it's 100, but just get around fast on it. And God damn it, make me want to smash something. To be right about Cal Quantrill, and very right about Cal Quantrill, and cap it well, all that shit, and then it fucking blow up in my face, cost me money. I'm still fucking pissed off about it. Okay, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Logan Allen going up against Griffin Canning. Let's take a look at the weather in Anaheim. It's 81 Fahrenheit, 8.2 miles per hour to right center. Then let's move over to Ballpark Pals expectations here of Los Angeles. And we have plus 7% homers, minus 6% doubles, triples, just plus 3% overall. Plus 3% overall. I'm interested in it, Saturated, and I think that you've probably given me the confidence. Robert Franklin says Houston first 5. Every time I watch now, these sorry, overrated motherfuckers don't ever put runs up for them. That has been a problem. And Saturated says, get your Cubs bets in. So let's go over to that line history here for Guardians Angels. Second to last game on the board. I got the first 5 up, so let me move over to full game. And for the full game, we are sitting here with the Angels at plus 113. They opened up at plus 125. So we've had a 12-cent move towards the Angels. I hate just letting things go. Like, I'm done with this. I hate that because it means that you're not necessarily putting in the due diligence that you need to, but I'm so fucking done with these Guardians. That just pissed me off so much last night. Like, I'm just, the under 8.5 opens up minus 111, some minus 114, 3 cents of movement towards the under. And I mean, Jose Ramirez doing everything he possibly can. These fucking bums just doing a Naylor trying. I mean, he was on a DL for a while, but 51% of the tickets, 82% of cash on these Angels. I mean, clearly sharp money there on the Angels. And then on the total, we don't have any cash flow, but we know that 86% of tickets are on the under. It's moved 3 cents to it. Logan Allen coming off a bad start at home versus the Rays. They got him for 4 earned runs over 5 innings, 3.51 ERA on the road. Griffin Canning on the other side, coming off a nice start at the A's. It was a 2-1 loss. I believe that was against Blackburn. At home, he's got 4.65 ERA, 222 opponents batting average. Guardians versus righties, 247, 689 OPS. Angels versus righties, 226, 674. Neither hitting righties. Guardians bullpen, 3.96 ERA, but Class A sucks dicks for cash. And Angels bullpen, 6.6 ERA. Sonny Dizzle. God, I can't. I've just been a long week, dude. Son Dizzle in the house. What up, Sonny, my man? Nice to see you, dude. Take it away for us here. Guardians, Angels, Dabby Cab, the floor is yours.
I'm the same as you. Like, I don't want to just not look into something. So, like, especially when I come in here with you, I look into everything, no matter how I feel about the game. But that being said, I still have my feelings about the game. And my feelings about this game, I just don't like it. I don't like the Guardians. You know, the Angels are a fucking joke. We can make like as many jokes as we can imagine about this Angels club and, you know, how they've mismanaged everything. In my opinion, the way they used Ohtani was just everything, man. But, you know, I don't think Cleveland's playing for as much as I feel like they want to convince themselves they are. I think Cleveland's done. And I think, you know, I get why the sharp money's on the Angels. I think if anything, I'd play the Angels first 5 here as a bet maybe. But that would be if I was really just needing action, and I don't need action.
You know, I think, and I've been watching these Angels games. I watched the whole Orioles series, and I just watched Guardians. Their young players are trying. They're actually trying. So there might be some spots where we can back them here against teams that aren't trying, especially when they're dogs. But
so I know you. I'll be quick because I said it last time I was on here with you. But like, that's what you have to pay attention for with these teams that, like, you know, toss in the hat, so to speak. is like look for people who are actually like trying to prove that they need a position, because if you get enough of those people on the field, they'll win games throughout till the very last game of the season.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And remember the year where the Tigers went, historically horrible. They swept that last series, and I was in Vegas for it, and we cashed on like they were minimum plus 240, and they swept that last series of the year. Okay. I actually have some interest in the Angels, but it's just because of my hatred for the Guardians. I'm just going to move on. I'm clearly biased. Final game on today's show, 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Rockies 51-88, 22-50 on the road at the San Francisco Giants, 70-70, 38-31 at home. Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Ty Block going up against Kyle Harrison. Let's take a look at the weather here in this one. We have 63 Fahrenheit, 5.7 miles per hour, between 5.7 and 5.1 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has Oracle. Usually I go right to the bottom, but it is warmer in San Francisco. It won't be warm on the West Coast for a little while. Minus 27% home runs, plus 6% doubles and triples, minus 4% overall. Let's go over to the line history here on this one. We have a big move towards the young lefty. Big move. They opened up minus 188. They're now minus 219. So we have 31 cents of movement towards Harrison. Interesting. Let's go over to the total in this one. It was at 8.5. It's now at 8. This is a really interesting game, and I didn't realize it just because it's been a tough week and having all this stuff ready with CFL and the college football and then this card and everything. But you have Ty Block with Clear Rebenga. Ty Block is an older vet that was just ditched by the Giants. And the Rockies pick him up. And there was times where Ty Block pitched really well on this field. And then you have Kyle Harrison, this, highly thought of rookie here. And Mally Mal saying back Ty Block. This actually is I would really love to know what our guy Nutflush is doing with this one. And I know he has high hopes for Harrison as, probably the number one left-handed prospect in the league. 55% of the tickets, 68% of cash on the Rockies. But we have this huge move towards Harrison. 86% tickets, 96% of cash on the under. We've gone from 8.5 to 8. Kelly McInnes is dangling them in the bull parlay. Arizona, Cincinnati, Toronto, Baltimore, Houston. All minus 1.5. $20 pays just under $1,500. Just under $1.5K for Kelly McInnes. Ty Block. Last start was ugly. 8-7 win at home versus the Jays. It was ugly, but remember the thin air in Colorado. Now he goes to a pitcher's ballpark that he knows very, very well. Kyle Harrison's last start was ugly at San Diego, but now he goes up against a Rockies team that's hitting 210, 600 OPS versus lefties. But Giants aren't hitting lefties either. This has all of a sudden become a very fascinating situation. Take it away for us here, Dabby Cab. Rockies, Giants.
I mean, the Rockies, I know. I hear what you're saying about the revenge spot, but it's like that, they've lost 7 of the last nine games, 8 of their last 10 road games. Offensively, not doing well. Only put up 9 runs their last 3 games here. Their offense, I think their struggles are going to continue because they've struggled against lefties in particularly. So, Harrison did a good job on the mound in his first home start. I see why the line's moving towards the Giants here. This isn't a spot that I want to lay this much juice with this, with this guy. So that's the reason I'm going to pass on this one.
I am moving on first 3 and first. I guess I can't move on the first 3 under. I guess they'll just be too low. I
get that.
Say what, my man?
I get that bet. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think this is a great spot here, but I'm sure it's going to be too low, so I'll have to do a first 5. The first 3 total, is it's not. Wow, I can bet it. Sundizzle says he loves it when you lay the juice. Do you have any idea what that means?
He's getting a thumbs down from me already.
Okay. Oh, that's so awful. That's awful. You should get penalized for something like that. You should get penalized for something like that. All right, that is our MLB breakdown. Dabby Cab, you are a monster. That was a big, long breakdown, and you were excellent with college football. You were money in the bank. Thank you for putting in all of your hard work. So let's go over Cabby's possibilities. Now, he's on Arizona first 5. That starts in 2 minutes. I'm on it as well. That was the gift from TJ. Viper MB on the Cubs team total under 3.5. I know what we did. That was oh God. Let's stay focused here. White Sox Tigers, we stayed off. I'm moving on the Rays. You had interest in the first 5 over in Seattle Tampa. Are you moving on it?
No.
So that is off. Let me pull that off. Then Cardinals Reds, we stayed off. I want the over in Dodgers Nats. You had interest in the Marlins first 5. Are you moving on it?
Yeah.
Let's line shop for you on this first 5 here. Let's get this in. So this is the Marlins first 5 money line. Marlins first 5 money line. Sorry. And we got the best line. Looks like plus 112. Let's quickly see what Pinnacle is offering here on that first 5. And that is plus 114. Plus 114 for Dabby on first 5 Marlins, plus 114. Then Mike M. Ribeye, play of the day, Carlos Slamtana, plus 147, which also correlates with his pimp slap play of the day, Milwaukee Brewers. Same game parlay brewing. You were interested in the Brewers full game. Did you want them on your card?
No.
That one is no longer there.
I do still like it, though.
Royals, Jays, we stayed off. The gift from TJ is the Orioles. I'm on the Orioles. Jose's on the Orioles. And TJ's also on the series price with the Orioles. TJ's on the Pirates, first 5 plus 175, first 5 plus half at 124. I like it, but I'm late to the party and the lines move too much. It's moved to the point where it's just not quite enough, I think. Jose has moved on the A's, first 5 money line, first 5 plus half, and full game plus 1.5. I don't have that here all of a sudden. What he has, full game plus 1.5. I was right here. Oh, because I wrote it right there. Plus 1.5, plus 103. That's why. Oh, because I'm looking at the. Okay, that's all. I'm looking at Pirates, but I'm just losing my mind here. Corey Seager over 1.5 bases for Rocco Rogers and a home run. Then Mets, Twins, we stayed off. Cabs on the Padres, first 5 plus 108. Guardians, Angels, we stayed off. And I'm moving on the unders in Colorado, San Francisco late tonight. Very, very late tonight. There we go. In college football here. Move over here. In college football.
You can join me with the Aggies. I know you don't do a ton of Saturday, but you could always join me with the Aggies. I think
I've got Saturday this week, and I'm going to look into it more, like I always do with your action, and so I'm going to look into it a little more. Dabby's on Bama first half and full game. He's on A&M first half and full game. The booze bag play of the day is the Buffaloes first half minus a half by minus 115 from Sean Pulliam. Then Dabby is on the Notre Dame first half minus 3.5. I'm on NC State plus 7.5. I'm on ODU plus 6. I'm on Cal plus 6.5. I'm very interested in the under in Notre Dame, NC State. I'm very interested in the under in Illinois, Kansas Jayhawks. K. Graham's on Illinois plus 3.5. BJ's on Kansas money line as his best bet. And then in CFL, Bombers first half full game team total over. Alouettes plus 10.5 team total over. And Redblacks team total over and first half full game. I'm kind of late to the party there with the first half full game, and I might have some hesitancy. I might, especially if they win by 3. LJ Cash It Fridays play of the day is the over team total over 4.5. The ass eater play of the day from Reclaim James is the Hanshin Tigers, and the spreadsheet play of the day is the Orioles spreadsheet. I had that written down. I must have Orioles, and that was at minus 118 for Ron Crawford. There you go.
Wait, isn't Sun Dizzle Canadian himself?
Oh, he's a New Orleans Saints season ticket holder. He does not.
Is he Canadian?
He is.
So a Canadian calling Canadian football not football. Whew.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Wow. Look at that. No birthdays, Rem, but we just went over all of everybody's action here, and this has been a long week, dude. I need to regroup, man. But I have no time to regroup. I gotta get my action in here. And we are just started off in the Arizona game. Dabby, from all of us, everybody in the chat, our thoughts are with you and the fam through what you're dealing with your grandma. And I know how important she is to the fam, and so we're thinking of her and sending love to her and to you guys, your whole family. It's very difficult going through all of that, and it was great that you could be there for her. It's the kind of guy you are, supporting your family, and we love you, man. We love you. And the big show for Dabby Cab was today and tomorrow. Colorado Buffaloes prime time, Neon, Deion Sanders and Sons against the Huskers and Matt Rule. What a game that's going to be. That
Can't
goes
wait.
live at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. That is Dabby Cab and Dutch Boy Fresh right there.
I
Dabby
mean,
Cab, Dutch Boy Fresh.
You were bold to say bigger than Texas, Alabama. I don't know, but it at least carries the same weight. Like maybe not in the overall standings, but just in entertainment alone. How fucking interesting is it to watch what Deion Sanders has already done in one game? Like, come on.
My Canadian father is going to watch every second of the Nebraska Colorado game, and he will not watch Texas Alabama. So, but you're right. Like the purists will disagree, maybe, but I mean that in Europe, everybody's going to be watching Nebraska versus Colorado. Like this is now prime time's making this worldwide. That's not the purist stuff there. Tori Coker on Nebraska. Nate Dogg, hit me up, man, if you're having trouble getting in. Please. And Worth It says, thanks for your hard work, Dabby, and best of luck with the family situation there. Dabby, I'm beat, man. I can't believe I'm gonna burn out in week 1 of the NFL season. It doesn't sound good. I'm worried about the future, man. Dabby, thank you for all your hard work. Please follow Dabby at Dabby Cab on Twitter and support his show tomorrow with Dutch Boy Fresh. Dabby, I'm smoked. I'm smoked, man. Can you put a bow? You guys in the chat, we have absolutely nothing without you. You guys bring humor and insights and everything we could ever imagine. You do so much for us. Sun Dizzle, Mally Mal, Kelly McInnes, Mike, Sean Pulliam, Nate Dogg, TJ, Tori Coker, Worth It, Robert Franklin, Saturated, Vipe, Mackie, XD says, do Canadians call it soccer or football? We call it soccer, Mackie, and I hope that doesn't make you hate us. IGA, IGA, I don't know what I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. Rem Most, DC Capper, Londo, Ross Pitts, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Kong's Clips. Tell me you didn't just say that. Thank you guys. Mally, Mal, Markel, DC Capper. Thank you guys. Dom Play, Nasty Nate, Saturated, Ronnie and Bergia, all you guys, thank you so much for your support, man. We have absolutely nothing without you guys. And Nasty Nate says, Sonny the GOAT unless he impregnates my girl. That's from our Nasty Nate himself. It's from Nasty Nate himself. JT Eel, thank you. DC Capper, all you guys. No, Sean, no WNBA looks, man. I know there's 5 games, and unfortunately, Brizzy wanted to come on, and I was like, look, our show is going to be 3+ hours, and it was 3 hours and 23 minutes. Joey Marinaccio says, when can I see your contest picks? I need to make one cut. So everybody will be able to see everybody's picks tonight at 10 p.m. So, Dabby Cab, can you please bless our action and put a bow on tonight's show, my man?
I got you, man. Everybody, like Jimmy said, we love you guys. And I'm going to make sure Jose has to hit the end button right after I say this. Jose, you're right. The Rangers suck, but they're still better than the fucking Red Sox. And everybody, Leche los motherfucking bookmakers.